Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, dude, the faces get me though. It's so creepy. How's everyone doing, guys? It's time. It's time for Dungeons and Dragons. Bubbly, you gotta stop, Bubbly. You look like the fucking ring girl coming out of the bottom of my monitor right now. You gotta stop. You gotta cut it out, man. Max still going. Oh, he's moving around. He's doing a little hand dance, if you will. Hello, everybody. It's Monday. It's time for Dungeons and Dragons. Don't have a whole lot of announcements for you today. Club's still going. Commit to the bit.
Man, imagine that.
Commit to the bit. Yeah. We are going to jump in. We left off as the party left the High Lithorian courts, having cleared Soren's name, but also learned some pretty sus things about Soren that even maybe Soren doesn't really know. We're not too sure yet.
Yes, let's unpack that.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so we're gonna jump into session 18, which is nuts. If you did miss the tweet sent out earlier today, had some issues with the VOD kind of rendering and exporting just being a big piece of garbage. So we're probably going to get it up by Wednesday is the goal. And then assuming that works and assuming that I can fix the root cause, then this session will go up on the normal time on Friday, everywhere that you guys consume our content. So with that, we will jump in to the recap provided by, is it Bear or is it Moss doing the recap?
Who do you want it to be?
It depends on how you wrote it, man. I'll give that to you.
Look, you underestimate my improv here, sir.
All right, let's give it Moss, and let's see what I got for you for a little bit of tunes. Hold on. Let's see what I got.
Please don't start our music.
I can't play that. All right. I don't know what... I named them after the title of the songs, but none of them give any kind of inclination as to what type of music it is, so we're going with it. Bring us in, Moss.
Sometimes I find myself wondering if maybe my mother did all of this as a joke. Maybe just, some sort of amusement for an ancient archfey as old as she. Because... reasoning for everything is just being insane. Not only did I just have to find out that the only way to cure the Fey Plague is to use Fey Essence, but that I was supposed to be solving the Fey Plague with no idea that that was my job, as well as trying to befriend the curse that's afflicted me for 100 years, Just a casual little bit of gaslighting for that. It wouldn't be a conversation with dear old Ma. And then the chaos that is whatever is going on with the Kaela and the Katara, I feel the Divines are in for a shakeup coming soon, being that Soren's soul doesn't look anything like anyone we've ever seen before, nor does it know its own identity, which apparently is completely out of the ordinary. Amon's not coming with us to the Feywild. He's afraid as usual. And Niall murdered 22 people, so... yeah, sometimes it just feels like life is kind of just a big joke.
Goddamn. Effing chat for Amon being a scared little bitch, I guess. I don't know.
Amon a scared little
Moss
bitch.
called him a coward.
That's true.
So.
That's true. Well, thank you for that awesome recap. Yeah, I think that basically covers it. I think we kind of stopped right on the line of you guys leaving the courts behind. The five of you. You guys have completed roughly, unless there's anything that came up off camera in the last week everything you need to finally enter the Feywild.
I need my rifle.
Right.
Right.
That's I think where we
Niall's
left
guiding
is,
us. Yes,
y'all were following Niall to go.
We are
get
guided
his
by
gun.
Niall to get his gun.
Which, interestingly enough, being in the High Lotharian courts in the northernmost edge of the city, you're fairly close to the barracks that you dropped it off. So that's not too difficult to get to. I would say that wouldn't take too much time as you guys moved through the city of Flintgate in order to collect your weapon. And for the first time in this campaign, Niall, you have access to your rifle. A much more dangerous weapon than the already very dangerous weapon that you have. So you can equip your musket and remove the broken tag from it as it is finally repaired. So that'll be interesting to see.
Man, just in time for you to kill a whole bunch of more people.
F.
I'm still waiting for my list, sir. Mr. Entity.
You might be good for a week or 2 days.
Yeah,
or something
honestly,
like
you might have killed enough people.
Yeah, you
to,
might
at
have
least
got,
get the weekend off.
that. You got a weekend. You got a take a nice long weekend. Get rest up.
Take a
Put in a
vacation.
little
for a
overtime.
Be
bit.
back on Tuesday, ready to rock.
All right. Having collected your gun, back to Nico's place. You guys again paid for 2 weeks at the what's it called? The Ivory Throne Fantasyland Hotel that is right off of the tracks. Probably can't get your money back. You could go. It wasn't that much. I'm sure it's fine. Where are you guys headed?
The wild.
The wild. I mean, that's Bubbly just walks out of the city into the wilderness. This is how you get there, right? Yeah.
That's how it goes, right?
That's how you get to the Feywild, right?
Yeah, you just walk
I believe
outside.
so.
You just go touch some grass. You'll be fine.
Wait, there's grass? Oh, that's a little too much for me.
Says
We're touching grass here.
says the druid.
Says the pale ass kid who's sitting in the basement of her mom's place.
Fair.
Little ghost girl.
Little ghost girl.
Oh.
My genetics made me the lamest vampire ever. It's okay.
Fair. Wait, so we finished picking up Niall's gun? Is that what we've concluded to?
Yes. So you guys are on kind of the
okay.
western edge of not too far away, but it is the opposite side of town to get now back towards the
Just gotta
district.
go for a timely stroll.
Yeah, back to the Celadonian district. That's where you guys are headed. Any post court conversations? I know it's been a week, but what's everyone's mood? Where's everyone's leveled at right now?
Soren's just shell shocked.
Yeah, Moss is just kind of quiet and focused at the moment, just like thinking.
Aqua's impressed that she drew that well. But also scared.
Yeah, it's a really good drawing.
Yes.
Niall is real happy that he got a new gun.
Pew pew.
Huzzah.
Absolutely.
Pew pew.
You can kill 22 people so much quicker with this gun
Exactly.
from so much further away.
Can? Wait,
Yeah.
can you though?
Ooh.
If they're all lined up doing like the Macarena, probably.
I was about to say, if they're in like a Congo line.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the ideal method. Yeah, if they're
Because like,
just
if
The Congo line killer.
the Congo killer.
The Congo
Are you just interrupting like a oldies night on a cruise ship?
100%. 100%.
So the next target is a bunch of conga-ing
I'm just
dancer.
worried.
Bunch of fucking,
Niall,
a bunch
I
of
guess
fucking boomers.
I don't know this. Is your
Congregating on their
musket
careers.
like a single shot ball musket, or
It's a sniper rifle musket. Just to let the audience know as well, the base pistol that Niall has does 1d10 plus their modifier. The sniper does 2d12.
Oh.
Now, takes a lot longer to reload, so it's, action economy until you get extra actions and stuff is still
Okay, that was
a
what my
limiting
question
factor.
because
But
you were saying like, you could
2d12
kill
is
people faster? I don't know.
well.
You might kill an
look at the
individual.
average health of a villager NPC, right? You line them up in a Congo line, you could probably take out 4 or 5 with one shot, depending on how they're oriented. Yeah,
Depending on how thin their head is.
or neck, depending on where you aim. Exactly.
The snusket. I love that.
It is a sniper musket actually, so snusket
The snusket.
works. Yeah. I hate that because that's now what it's called.
That sounds
that's locked
terrible.
in. The good old
Niall.
snussy.
Thank you, first time chatter
Yeah, I love it.
with the snusket.
You guys take the hour or so that it takes. I imagine every time Nico makes this journey, she's just thinking about how much faster this would be if the damn machine would work.
Just get it to work.
Once we
just
have
disappeared at exactly the wrong
citywide
moment.
institution of this process, we can get anywhere with a little bop of a button. Because
Meanwhile,
right now,
Boss is just enjoying the stroke.
but yes, we arrive back at the Wizard Tower.
I just have a question about Soren.
Absolutely.
Does he look any different since having his soul temporarily removed?
He looks a little, I imagine, and this might just be more based purely around the emotion of the experience, definitely a little clammy. He's got a dark purplish gray skin, so he doesn't exactly go pale, but he's definitely maybe a little feverish even. And like Soren described, shell-shocked from the experience.
Right.
Probably within himself, just like in his own world, just zoned out, just kind of like following, but not saying anything.
But no blood pouring out of the ears or anything like that.
No
Nothing
nose,
so
no
far?
nosebleed, no
Alright.
no visible
Oh, no,
signs.
not anymore?
of-
Long lasting.
No, I was kidding. I was kidding.
Yeah, it actually cured your chronic nosebleeds. You're good. All you
Do you not
needed
need the
was to
false
clean your
dehumidifier?
sinuses with your own soul being pulled out of them, and there you are.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly, I do feel a little bit better. Like my sinuses are clean because of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing like a soul cleanse.
Does that mean that your soul now has like all the snot that was in your nose? It got
No,
like
Lothar does.
He's just got a room where he keeps all of the tosses all
It's just a
over.
vat. It's just a vat.
regret
of-
asking.
Wax.
The snot
All right.
vat.
It's definitely just called. It's just a giant like mason jar called mortal
snat.
mucus.
Ew.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I gotta put it in the bucket.
What is that
Why?
stuff? Is that like some sort of
Hey,
soul
there's
slime?
wizard
No.
spells that use bat
Just
shit
mucus.
as an ingredient. Okay, you
That's
think
sweet.
mortal mucus is that much worse? That's just what they use for their 15th level spells. It's just magically imbued mortal mucus. What's your problem?
Fair.
Oh, I was about to say something. It's like, nah, it's mucus. It's not saliva. Never mind.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, no, I'm just gonna keep that thought to myself.
Did we ever name the wizard tower that you work at?
No, it's just Professor Torwin's tower.
Torwin's Tower.
Snickle Ticket Tower.
It's definitely not mine. Everyone keeps calling it mine. It's definitely not mine.
It's
You live
yours.
there, so it is.
You
Do
are
pay
the
rent?
no.
Look, your boss. Not to bring the your boss probably dead. So
I really hope she's not, because I need her. I can't finish the damn machine without her. So
Oh,
I need
true,
her to
man.
finish the red
And
engine.
also, if she's dead, who knows gone.
That's true.
Yeah.
We can't rescue him. So,
Probably other people who know portals really well, right?
yeah. Not the leading researcher who researches portals, but it's fine.
Yeah, apparently
Just because you're a researcher, because you're the lead.
C's get degrees, man.
Wait, Moss also as they're like this
That you know of, the leading researcher that is known. Someone could be keeping it secret because they're like, I don't care about fame, but I'm gonna find this for myself.
Sneaky snake, yeah. Moss, what were you saying?
Moss stops for a moment as Nico's talking about needing her to finish the machine. Wait, my mother said she controls all the Feywild portals. I completely forgot she said that, just offhandedly. Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
Well, that can't be true, because wizards go there all the time.
Well, according to her, she's the one that lets them in.
The way it was phrased is your mother is responsible for the stability of the natural portals and the ones like similar to, and you would know this, Moss, similar to wizards on the material plane that can establish a permanent teleportation circle by recasting that magic day after day after day in order to basically imprint the spell on the planet. The portal system of sorts that is used in the Feywild is very much the same way. So there are natural ones that just are caused by the fact that the membrane of the Feywild and the material plane are constantly creating friction against each other, and that causes rips that lead to portals. But powerful archfey will also just cut a hole in that membrane and walk through.
I figured it might be something akin to that. Moss is just not putting it above his mom to just casually take control of all in and out
doorkeeper of every portal. Yeah, now that raises the philosophical question of how the magic works, right? Because like I just described, the natural portals and the ones that archfey can create are quite literally them cutting a hole in the membrane and stitching it to the material plane, where wizards kind of just pop out and pop in, not with portals. So with planar travel, is that a better way than just cutting holes in this technology, in this dividing line between the two realms? And that's maybe Nico's machine is a safer way to do it if you're just getting popped in and out, if that's indeed what's happening.
What you got, Bear?
Nothing.
Fuck, I want to know. It looked good.
It's chips.
Okay, I got Twinkies. I got Twinkies off camera. It's all good.
My brother standing off camera poured me a bullet.
That's what I saw. I was like, who the fuck's that in the corner? And then I was like, oh, that's a bowl. Oh, that's a bowl of food. Oh, what you got there?
So, back at Nico's tower. The Feywild.
Back at Nico's tower.
It is the 3rd of Maycor in the mid-afternoon now, because the trial didn't start until the sun was directly overhead and probably took only about half an hour or so. You guys are in the portal room.
All right. Well,
machine has attuned, I believe. We already established that, so...
The coin is in. It's ready to go. With the medallion.
Question.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, for Tyler. For the hag... did she give me any way to contact her?
Nope.
No, I
she
didn't
looked
think so.
at 6 traveling adventures and said, y'all gotta figure out a way to tell me when you find a portal and get me the fuck out of here.
Mouse would be like, do you have any means of magically sending a message across great distances?
Let me consult my spellbook for a moment.
I don't get sending.
I do.
You know what I do have? Out of spite for not having it all last campaign? Message.
Yes!
Yeah, but how is that gonna work when someone's...
Okay, but I'm not talking about the sending scenario. I'm talking about the message scenario now.
So much fun. I love message. It's so much fun.
I am not capable of sending.
Shoot.
But if Soren can,
I can't today or ever until I level up to level 5. So
There's the rep.
Everyone gets a collective nosebleed.
What's a level?
If
What's a
only we were
level?
in this this magical wizard city, where I'm sure we could just ask someone.
100%. There's like a
Yeah, but
facility.
that's- asking someone to do that, just like putting our business out there.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well,
You
I
do
think-
know to
guess it is
establish what you do know, Nico. There is a guild that offers that service of instantaneous messaging. There is also something that has survived the last 400 years with Mother's Mercy, with everything. There
Postal
is
service?
a postal service. There is an Okakoka. It actually, for the most part, is now operated with Owlins, who are much smaller and faster than
Aarakocra's out
Aarakocra.
of business.
Yeah.
Owlins?
Yeah, little owl boys. They're just yeah.
Don't
just-
say it like that.
Nope, it's too late. They're little owl boys.
I love to imagine the owlins they're faster than all the Aarakocras, and how irritating that must be for the Aarakocras when looking at actual owls versus
Yeah,
every
oh,
other
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This is who I picture.
the question is too is that
Nature's
we're bringing in
slowest
oh my gosh, we're bringing in a like a powerful fae being into the city, right, to get her through the portal, right? Like that's
I
the
mean-
intention.
See.
Eventually,
Maybe we don't do that.
maybe. I mean, ideally, we wouldn't have to have her be anywhere near your stuff, but I don't know if that's really in our control.
Right.
Because she will probably steal as much as she can going up the stairs, and various other things.
Right. So we'd have to contain her, perhaps.
Yes.
I think in like a bottle or something. I don't know. That's not something I can do.
Well,
Now that you mention it, I wonder if.
Can we pack her into a bag and bring her over?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I've moved on to thinking what I'm going to do to her after we get to the Feywild.
Jesus.
we're skipping so many steps.
Sorry, yeah, getting ahead of myself.
Do you think your professor would know how to make it somewhere else? Your portal thingy?
She probably could. It's not something I can do. But if
Yeah.
you know,
You can always talk to her and ask.
as long as she doesn't, I don't. How you say hag, right? Like how, like on the scale of like,
Exactly what you're probably imagining.
Okay.
Like, you ever heard of Baba Yaga?
Oh,
Oh,
don't you have like
Alright.
a weird disguise thingy you can do?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
You could like show her what she looks like.
Oh, right. And you see the horrifying visage of this horribly lanky, long-armed, legged hag woman.
He's a
Nope.
little bit short, isn't he?
even with the jazz hands, I don't know if she's gonna play super well walking through the street.
And that's
That's
why I
my
said
concern.
maybe we don't have
I
to
mean,
do that.
Yeah, that, and she's not exactly someone I would trust. Being
Gotcha.
that she went behind my back to trick Niall into a deal as well.
That's true.
Which I'm not letting go lightly.
She is a witch.
Gotcha.
And she's going to be a very sorry witch.
So I guess my main concern is we go in the Feywild. Somehow she finds out that you've been to the Feywild, and then she's got a big problem that we return from the Feywild, presumably here, and she's waiting for us to come collect, and you not holding up your end
Well,
of the bargain.
she has no means of getting to us from where she's at currently, and if entering the Feywild without her breaches the terms of our contract, I would die immediately.
Oh, so problem solved. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, would rather not, but yeah.
Problem solved.
We need you as a guide,
Answer
however.
received. Yeah.
You don't need to hold up your end of the bargain when you're dead, right? They don't follow you into the next plane?
Can you even time loss?
You know, I don't know. I've tried to avoid thinking about it for the last few hundred years or so. And that's the closest Moss has ever talked about how old he is.
This person is timeless.
All right, I'm gonna wander. Is there a library? How big is your library?
It's not massive. It's more of a study, but with the circular shape of every room.
That's where I was.
Yeah, that's where you were. The entire circumference of the walls are covered in books. So there's still thousands of books, but it's not a sprawling library. There's definitely a lot in there, though.
I'm assuming there's nothing on anything with souls here. Assuming.
Take a look.
Can I roll? Yeah, can I take a look?
Yeah, what specifically are you looking for?
Just instances of, souls not matching their body and, just stuff like that.
Sure.
Where is my D20 at? I'm just gonna use this one. Well, it was okay. 17.
17. You don't hit the bullseye on kind of what you're looking for. You do find, as this is a wizard's tower at the end of the day, talk in a book that seems to discuss the concept of removing a soul from a body and putting it in another body through something called a soul jar. There's also various highly sought after magical items that can contain a soul in like jewelry. But that's not quite the same unless your soul has been swapped and you're unaware.
And that's what I was thinking. That's what Soren was thinking, but also would the original soul know that? Because him saying he doesn't know who he is kind of...
That's where you would have to maybe do some research on how the Lionheart armor works as well. Is it simply calling forth the soul that is located in your container that is your body? Or is it pulling forth the soul that was built for that body? That's where, it's a very powerful artifact made by the god of law and order, so it's possible, but... You are unfamiliar with the Lionheart armor.
Is there anything on the Lionheart? I would probably start there and then look, and then when I don't find exactly what I want, I'd probably move to the Lionheart armor or Lothar or just adjacent.
With the 17, you find a mention of the vestiges of Severance, which are older artifacts. Most of them are considered lost or destroyed from Mother's Mercy. Specifically, the gods of which we no longer remember that were replaced, their vestiges have vanished and are unremembered. Lothar's is the only one that is publicly known about. It is directly tied to when Lothar walked the earth. He established a court system actually on the eastern coast of this continent, not in Flintgate. But that part was destroyed by the corruption, and a new court was established using the Lionheart armor as its kind of signal of authority, which was then proven correct, a correct decision when a champion was announced. And ever since then, the champion has reigned as the high adjudicator of the Lotharian courts, now located in Flintgate. But you do not find anything about the specific properties. In fact, you find nothing about the properties on most of the vestiges. Descriptions, mentions, names of people who wore them.
How long has I adjudicate? Do I not have names is what you mean, or do I get names?
Of the Lionheart armor, you do get names. So you get the current holder of that, as well as a series of names that don't really connect to anything. Nothing kind of stand out as meaning anything to you, besides the current High Adjudicator who just ruled on your court. You do find a list of names for some of the other. Does
it have years? Like how long they've had it? or like how long they were a
It does
champion?
not. No, it is simply kind of a ruleness. You do see there is also an item in there called the Eternus Ring, and it is marked as missing, but it is weird. It stands out to you because that paragraph is circled with pen and notated around. And it appears that whoever last used this book is trying to locate this ring as they're crossing off rumors that they've heard. There's a scrap of paper that kind of goes into a little bit more detail. The last known wielder of this weapon, or of this ring, is a man by the name of Simon. And then below that, there is a question mark. And then it says, Age of Heroes.
I don't even have to write any of that fucking down.
Wilkes starts twitching in the corner.
Everyone, P1 just starts crawling out of their graves. I'll show you a Simon.
But yeah, okay. So this is in/out, but we're leaving soon, right?
It's the plan.
Probably now.
Every day you've wasted is another day of Kuno being trapped, and potentially Professor Torwin being murdered. The Feywild is not friendly to outsiders, especially outsiders who think they're smarter than they are, as Moss has explained.
Another thing, while he's researching the soul stuff, can I check and look around the study for anything that might give me a means of which to entrap an individual?
Are you looking for like a magical?
Yeah, something like that. I want to be able to trap the hag.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. That's... Oh, my character sheet's on the other screen. My investigation bonus. 20.
20. You spend some time looking around. You're not exactly sure what you're looking for. Now there are some items that are like a museum, have a little placard on them or have like a little label. Eventually you kind of aren't finding exactly what you're looking for. Nico, you're seeing Moss kind of turning the place over, not making a mess, but like very clearly going through stuff like, nope, that's not what I'm looking for.
Do you need help finding anything?
Sorry?
Do you need help finding anything?
I mean, I guess if you have any means of which to trap someone?
Perhaps. Now, I've got like their plain old manacles. Probably if I dig around a little bit, there might be something that like disables magic, but
that would be perfect. Because I would like to, remove someone, the hag from the equation after this is all done.
Gotcha. Yeah, because perhaps when we return, we could tie her up and push her through.
Oh, I meant in that I'm going to kill her once she's back in the Feywild.
Oh, you fulfill your end of the deal, then you're freed from your obligations, and then you're like, I gotcha.
And then I'm going to kill her because she went behind my back.
Makes sense.
Not that you guys are super close friends, and this goes for the whole party, because you guys are still doing the relationship. That is the coldest shit you've ever heard Moss say, so matter-of-factly, as if it was common sense. Well, yeah, as soon as I get this curse of the bargain off my chest, I'm gonna murder her. Yeah, Nico, you have, now this is up to you if you do this in secret or if you let the party know, there is a magically hidden chamber that contains Professor Torwin's magic items, and there is some powerful stuff in there. Most of it you don't feel comfortable taking, but you know that there is 2 items that would help with this. You have both a set of anti-magic manacles, which are explicitly difficult for wizards to cut through the meta of them. They require a DC 25 strength or dexterity check in order to resist them being put on. Once they're on, they are silenced, and they cannot move their arms enough to cast spells.
Gotcha.
The other item you have is a ball of like thorny brass rings. You've never seen it used, but it does have a placard, and it is on the same level of complexity in what it would be used for as the anti-magic manacles. However, it doesn't explicitly stop magic. It restrains someone in a certain pose, which could be used to prevent them from using somatic components. But it is more of an imprisonment sphere. And you've never seen it be used, but it is described as a ball that expands, and then the brass thorns grab onto them and try to return to the sphere that they are, which, like, it doesn't kill them. It's not strong enough to, like, smoosh them, but it is so tight that, like, you can't even, like, fully exhale your breath anymore.
Horrifying.
And it is up to you if you disappear into that room or if you invite this centuries-old warlock into your...
Absolutely not. I'm just gonna be like, I'll be right back. Let me go grab a cup of tea. I'll see what I find for you. And then I'm gonna scoodle off secretly.
Yeah, sure.
Moss follows her.
Make a stealth check, or you guys can roleplay out you basically saying, fuck off, I'm not showing you where this is.
Wait, where are you? Wait, are you looking for something? Do you need any help?
Oh, no. I've got an immense catalog of where everything is. I need to go find the book, and then I need to look up which floor it's on, and then which room it's in. So, just give me a few moments. You just hang out right here. Keep reading through some books. It looks like Soren might need some help with what he's researching.
No.
A single tear just rolling down Soren's cheek as he's still struggling to cope. Please do not talk to me.
Moss just looks over at Soren and says, looks like Soren doesn't need any help. I'll just follow you.
Doesn't even look up from his book.
It's not my place to show you. That's the problem, Moss. It's just, we're gonna borrow something from Professor Torwin, and then,
So this is like there's a secret involved here. We could have just said that.
Wow, okay. I don't know. You're a little slippery. I'm being honest.
I mean, I am a few hundred years old. I tend to dance around in conversation to get to where the end, the ends justify.
Mm-hmm.
But, sure, I'll stay here.
Sure. Yep. Definitely believe you. I'm gonna scoodle off.
Super sus.
Moss actually sits across from Soren and stays there.
Make a stealth check just in case anyone's kind of in your space.
Me?
Yes, yeah.
Am I gonna be a sneaky snake? Probably not. I'm a wizard. 6.
Okay. You enter the hidden chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And you see wall to wall dozens upon dozens of magic items. Some of them are highly alarmed, although with the professor not in the building, you don't really know what the downside would be to setting off that alarm. But you locate both the anti-magic manacles and the unnamed thorny brass ball.
While that's happening, Moss sitting in the room across from Soren. So, just an idea, but, say we were to go look for that secret room later.
What about it?
I don't know. Sounds interesting.
I'm sure we could find it.
I have no doubt in our ability to find it. And see, I mean, not that it's entirely necessary. I'm just really curious what's inside there now. I don't even want to take anything. I just want to see. What wouldn't they want anyone to see them having? Do you think there may be secretly a serial killer or something?
Moss says, standing 3 feet from Niall.
Yeah.
What's wrong with serial killers?
I doubt it, but I mean, everyone has their secrets, and I'm sure she just wants to. This isn't her tower. She has said on multiple occasions it's her mentors. So I'm sure it's probably something important to her mentor, and she wouldn't want to disappoint them in letting a stranger, so to speak, into it.
Just find it interesting how many secrets people keep on the material. Not that there's not so many secrets in the Feywild, but it's just pettier secrets sometimes.
It's the difference between lying and untruths.
Yeah.
Or half-truths, yeah.
Yeah.
But a few moments later, you hear some clunking downstairs. And Aster, or fucking Nico, drops the brass ball, which is light to carry, but has a quite heavy thud, just the way it's magically enchanted. But comes in with a pair of very delicate-looking manacles. Very, very thin metal wrought lines with runes circling the actual cuff on both sides, and a large brass thorny ball, smaller than your orb, but still quite large.
So, is there a reason she collects things of this nature?
Well, she is both an old lady as well as an old wizard. So loves to collect knickknacks. I don't know if you've seen, there's so many little tiny porcelain cats on a lot of shelves, especially in the living room.
You know, I was wondering what that was about.
You see, basically every room in this house has one of those box shelves from IKEA, but it's all glass, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of little tchotchkes and mementos and items. There's magic items. There's a lot of cool stuff, but yeah, there's the most organized hoarder you've ever seen, for sure.
Yeah, she's literally a gem. So she, you know, she collects stuff.
That's a pair of manacles, and that is a thorny ball of metal rings.
Oh, it's one of many horrifying magical items that she has.
Right. Okay. So that just special interest then, horrifying magical items.
Yeah. Sometimes they're for killing things, but sometimes they serve other purposes. You know, she's been around a long time. She's human, but she's been around for a long time. A lot of time to collect.
As soon as you say she's human, Moss was like, his entire scope of what you meant by around a long time.
Yeah. She's like 53.
He's like,
just like, wait.
60 years?
Okay.
Not entirely sure, if I'm honest.
You're going to outlive them.
Likely, yes. That's why I need her now.
Not even likely.
Yes. Well, as long as the Fey Plague doesn't get me.
Or as long as you don't die from something else.
Exactly. That's what you folks are all for. You make sure I don't die. I hopefully don't die of the Fey Plague, hence the research, and, you know, goals accomplished.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you said long time, I thought way longer, because I could understand, you know, someone being a few hundred years old and collecting, you know, truly horrifying things out of curiosity's sake. But I don't know, it just seems too narrow a lifetime to just be a little curious. But I digress. Worries aside, what do they do?
Nico, you're just thinking about the story you were told by Professor Torwin on why she owns anti-magic manacles, and it was because in one of her earliest attempts, even before this machine existed, she used to have, like, she started the harder way, which is portable teleportation, and accidentally ended up in the Nine Hells, and stole these manacles and used them to trap a pit lord before fleeing the Nine Hells, and later went back to retrieve them because she's like, this is going to be useful. So actually, and something that's not exactly uncommon, you just can't afford it. Mages all the time hire out private security to come with them into all these stupid places. You just have no means, even with the sum of wealth that's here, to pay them for that.
Not that literally being one of the backstories of one of my characters.
Yeah.
Was hired by a wizard and it went wrong.
Yep, 100%.
It's fine.
Right, Mark?
Oh, that's good.
All
right.
Fun times.
The portal is ready. You have not pulled the lever yet, but is there any last minute preparations? What I would like, just even just for our resident note taker, Bubbly here, if we could just to summarize, since Nico has joined the party, what are we doing in the Feywild? What is the agreement between Nico and the rest of the party in terms of what she's offering, in terms of helping Kuno and some of the other things? What's the deal? What are we doing?
What? The...
Like, what's
you
the party
mean-
goals?
Yeah, what's the party goals?
character.
In character, yeah.
Getting the professor for my brother. Also, maybe figuring out things about the Fey Plague. Firsthand.
Okay.
Fey Essence and so like.
Helping out Bear and Niall with the Hague.
Who's Bear?
Who's Bear?
Oh, Mom.
There's a bear?
He looks like a bear.
There's a bear!
Yeah, so
Doesn't look like a bear.
primary, in terms of meta information, primary quest goal is rescue the professor, bring her back. Nico's end of the bargain is convincing the professor to then help Kuno.
Yep.
And then minor goals along that quest line are finding out more about the Fey Plague, Moss, kind of sussing out the Feywild. Yeah.
I want to say I won't bring her back if she doesn't agree beforehand. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair.
You won't.
Yeah.
But I'm the person with the rats. Or the rat engine.
The rats.
You'll
I'll find another
maybe
way
I'll leave
back.
it there. Okay.
And maybe
fine.
take you with me.
Hey, yo!
Don't
Moss
threaten me.
just like raises an
Because I
eyebrow.
don't think you would like it. Because I am not afraid to die.
He has a point.
Gotcha. All right.
I don't even know who I am anymore, so...
Oh, no.
It's okay, Soren, you don't
Soren,
Social crises here.
Soren is
Moss just puts a
spiraling
hand
right
on
now.
Soren's shoulder with like a pat.
It's everybody just crying into their soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soren is spiraling right now.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit unkept right now. Okay. Now, to activate the device is not just a simple flick of the lever. You have calibrated the machine using the coin. Similar to teleportation magic, which has a level of uncertainty, and especially since this is a alpha experimental technology that has not been road tested fully, maybe your professor got killed by this machine the second she got shunted in the Feywild. You really do not know. You have had no contact with her since she left. You are all going to step into the ring of this teleportation dais, and one of you is going to flip the lever, and I'm going to ask... damn it, was it Bear or Nile? Or Bear or Club?
It was Club.
It was Club. I said to Bubbly when we joined that the last person to join has to roll the dice. So
Voice-wise...
Club is going to roll...
Club, video, Bear. So
Yes. Club is going to roll a D100 when we flip that lever, and your goal, I will tell you, is very simple because you have something directly from the Feywild. In terms of the teleportation being successful, you are trying to get below a 74. 74 and below. Very, very easy. Don't roll
question.
yet. I'll tell you when. Yes.
Were we explained how we are getting back by this machine?
Nope.
No.
No, we were not. No.
Nico,
All
do
we
you
know
know
is, like,
how
how
we
to
are
get in.
getting back?
So here's what I'm hoping is going to happen. That on the other side, that there's kind of like a, I don't know, like a point or a version of the rat engine that kind of lands there. Because this one clearly doesn't go anywhere when you use it. I've never been anywhere with it, but clearly Professor Torwin comes back.
But she hasn't this time.
This time. Yeah, I assume it's like death related or, monster related or something.
Assuming is a lot.
Yeah. Well, as far as I can see from my end, like I've been, working on the machine as best I can without her. And I can't find anything wrong as I scan it and.
Push comes to shove, I can always call my mum, but
Mom, can you pick me up from the sleepover? I'm scared.
Bring us back to the prime material. We left our car keys on the other side.
Yeah, theoretically, what has been described is there will be an echo of the rat engine on the other side. However, the Feywild is very close to the material, so it should be a strong connection. But that is why you've only been testing with the Feywild, is the further you get away from the membrane of the prime material, the weaker the connection.
Have you confirmed whether or not your tower exists as a reflection in the Feywild? Because some places do have reflections in the Feywild, and others just don't. It depends. Most older places.
Because how, like, from your experience, what should we be prepared for? In terms of just general what to expect, because no one has. We're just going in blind.
Yes, right. Well, here's the awkward part, because I may or may not have been living by myself for the last 100 years before I met Amon. So it's been a while since I've walked around home. But I'm really not sure. From the sound of it, things might have actually been worse, in Mardoon at least. But everywhere else, I can at least hope it's still plucking along. It's mostly just a lot of arguing as things get done around the arguing.
And to remind you, Bear, playing the only one from the Feywild currently on the call, the Feywild is a vast, expansive place that is more or less an echo of the prime material, like you said. The realm of Mardoon, or Mardon, or Mardon, there's varying pronunciations, is the vast majority of the Feywild, and it's interspersed as a set. Within the realm of Mardon, there are various areas and forests and kingdoms. The realm of Mardon is where the Seelie and Unseelie court play for dominance of authority over that region. The other regions that you are familiar with, such as the land of Mercandu, which is a area on the outskirts of the region of Mardon, is it's not great. That's the Badlands. That's the bad place. There's also the Heartstream, which is where the Nelithan court, or the seasonal court, carries passage and carries authority. And then there's the Epoch Valley, which is where the Moon Grove is. And that is an area almost exclusively uninhabited besides those of the Ascendancy.
Yeah, all of Mom's weird satyr sacrifices that live there.
Exactly.
Just murdering satyrs?
So you are very likely to end up somewhere in Mardon, which could be on the seat of the Sealy Court. It could be on the edge of the land of Mercandu. You don't really know.
Wait, there's a chance that we could just interrupt like a fucking meeting in the Sealy Court or whatever?
100%.
Right. Yeah,
100%.
It actually happened to me one time.
I just don't want to be in a courtroom again.
Well, I mean,
Soren's gonna shit his pants.
They're mostly like theater, like a coliseum almost of people sitting around, and then the ones arguing are all in the middle usually. But I had a train of thought, but I lost it. But besides, all the things that we might have to worry about in Mardun, should be fine. And my heritage should at least keep us covered anyways.
Yeah.
Usually people left me alone. I was rather well-liked.
You're important enough, right? We can use that?
I don't know about important, but I was helpful and people liked me, so...
Did you hold a station?
I did. I walked away from it.
Oh.
If we run into trouble, what weight does your master's name carry?
Well,
That's last resort.
Well,
assuming.
My mother is a member of the Ascendancy, and they're the living gods that rule the Feywild. So, just a little bit, I think.
I'm assuming your mother, though, don't know the nature of your relationships that well. It seems to be troubled, but I don't assume she would want you to die. Assuming.
It seems that she, at this moment, has no plans on letting me die. At least, not before I figure out... And he shakes the orb. Whatever he's about. Speaking of which, I put the Reaper in the orb for the time being. However that worked out.
You see Moss kind of show the orb, and it is visibly brighter and glowing, that same miasmic, evanescent, ever-changing color scheme that you guys saw in Salt Creek.
What does that mean? What does that entail?
Yeah. I literally don't know, as I tried talking to my mom, and she basically told me it was my fault that I hadn't figured out that it wasn't a curse for 100 years. So...
Okay.
Well, that's good, but it's not a curse.
I still killed a few 100, if not 1,000 or so people. So I'd say it's pretty much a curse.
But it's better than 1,000.
Nico, this is new information.
Just to ask, how do you trigger this curse? Is it like a lunar thing, or?
Well, he just said it's not a curse.
He falls asleep.
I can't sleep.
You can't sleep. So then,
It's not allowed.
what are you gonna do when you have to? How do you
Well,
live?
usually I don't have to sleep. I normally can stay up a number of days just fine before I feel tired. But Amon, our friend who's not coming with us,
Broody one.
was he would eat the dreams, and that would keep me awake, and would also keep the Reaper from being
Quick question.
Yes.
What did you do before Amon?
Well, I said I lived by myself for 100 years for a reason.
So you okay?
Oh.
So you were isolated enough that the radius that your Reaper affected did no harm or minimal harm.
Yeah.
And people essentially assumed to stay away because if they were caught in it, they would end up like Salt Creek.
Nobody knew any better. I spent every day chasing people away, begging them not to come near me. And sometimes they would listen, sometimes they would stay anyways.
And then at night you just turn into the boogeyman? Like a thing of nightmares?
It is not, it's terrifying.
I wonder if I can I use the orb to try and, like, conjure up some sort of, I mean, it'll mostly look like a silhouette inside, a cloudy silhouette of what it looks like.
To try drop the image? Yeah, if you want to drop the sketch that you have in the cast chat, absolutely. So that Kim can see.
Yeah, see if I...
Oh, I think I found it. I can post it.
Okay.
That is what Moss turns into. It's a great sketch too. It's awesome. Yeah. What do you mean?
How are we?
The strands extend and grab people.
It's great.
Wonderful.
And now it's in a ball.
And do you know if this is permanently trapped in the ball? Like, you can sleep, like you said, you can stay awake for several days, but eventually you do need to sleep.
I don't know.
What are we gonna do when the Sandman comes to collect?
We knock it out.
I go very far away.
You can't control yourself when that happens, but if you feel like you're about to sleep, you would warn us, assuming.
Yes.
Just shout, yawn, run.
I'm not narcoleptic.
I mean, I figured
that would be a terrible combination.
But it's like if you're in the midst trying to stay awake, and like we only can go so far.
I would not put any of you at risk of me falling asleep.
Right.
Again, until I met Amon, I lived by myself for over 100 years for that very reason.
Gotcha.
I do have... It's not a long-term solution. But, you know, wizards have to research late into the night sometimes. And, you know, 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 nights in a row. So I wouldn't recommend taking a lot of them in a row. But I do have... it's like a pill form of a potion kind of thing that it'll keep you awake. Man, you'll feel awful and jittery, but you focus and get your research done. Bring those with us just in case.
Just in case, yes.
I just don't want you to fall asleep. Not if that thing in your illusion is what comes out at the end.
Wow, we get XP.
Yeah, you have 14 pills that are available. These basically take the... instead of taking a long rest, you can take one of these pills and at least within a short period of time not experience any side effects. However, prolonged use, and when you stop taking them, there is a period of recovery required. Yes. The cool thing about this, and you see them, they are basically in a prescription bottle because they're for wizards and you can get them. There is a notice that does say this also prevents... yeah, this also prevents being magically put to sleep.
Oh, shit.
This is a very strong, very potent pill. Yeah.
This is what the... Moss is like reading the label. You can't be magically put... What do they put in this?
It's
Sometimes you have to do your research and you just can't, like, you know when you have a thread of something and you really, like, you're chasing it and you know if you fall asleep you're going to lose it?
Is that the thing you people do to each other? Magically put each other to sleep?
You know, not regularly.
Yeah, called knocking out.
But, you know, when you're trying to sabotage someone so that they don't finish their thing in time for the presentation and then you get the contract for the...
Oh my...
No? Is this not...
No! Usually we're all just trying to work... I mean, if someone's going to sabotage someone, they usually just kill them.
Nico, make a history check.
but otherwise, it's pretty much everyone's kind of just content arguing.
24.
24. As Moss is talking about this, and you're kind of remembering, like, they're not that bad. You recall a wizard who is no longer with us, named Albus Penfrew, and his goal with this pill was to use it and then use an accelerated version of a spell called Time Stop in order to not have to sleep and be able to get, in some cases he claimed, hundreds of days of research done in a matter of hours.
Oh my god.
Using a sustained time stop spell. However, he got the dosage wrong one day and was trapped in this time stop for, in his time, what other wizards have surmised to be centuries. And he came out of it minutes later to the rest of the world, a shriveled up pile of bones. Like, have you guys ever seen Doctor Who when he gets trapped in that cage by the Master for hundreds of years? Yeah. Or his time gets accelerated? Yeah. That's how he was found. So Albus Penfrew is basically on the warning label.
Yeah, so
like a smoker's warning.
Dust and bones.
Yeah.
What does this say? It's maybe a habit forming.
See, that's why
That's
you
been
can't
unconfirmed.
do it all the time. It's just mostly it's the personality. It's not necessarily the potion itself. Regardless, we've got it just in case. Because if that's what you turn into when you fall asleep, can you be magically put to sleep? Just in general, can that happen to you?
Never been magically put to sleep.
Has no one
So funny.
Not
ever
that you know of.
tried as like a prank or?
I laughed at that too.
No, not that I can think of. No one's ever put me to sleep against my will.
Where'd you find that image?
That's from Doctor Who.
So we don't know whether or not
That's David
you'll
Tennant.
lose your mind.
But generally, fey creatures are less susceptible to charm and other persuasions of the mind.
All right. So, nothing's gonna giggle around the campfire and puff smoke in your face and then we're all dead? Hopefully. Right?
One way to find out.
Boss is trying to think if the sleep fairies would take a hit out on him.
I'm just concerned in regards to all the tricksy hobbitses that, live in the Feywild.
Well, no, none that would try it on me.
Oh, right. Man of station. Or person of station. Gotcha. Okay. I'm still concerned.
I remember the thing about the satyrs, that was what Moss was going to comment on, was that, no, they're not sacrifices. There's this group of satyrs that sees my mother as, like, a god, like an angry god, and they, like, give her a baby every year on, like, a holiday, and she just takes them because she feels sorry for them. So then they just live with us.
You just have like a growing family of satyrs that are just orphaned because their parents are scared of your mom.
Satyr orphanage?
That is the most Feywild bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
They tend the Moon Grove.
Yeah,
it's in the document.
That's awesome. All right, you guys are ready? Theoretically, you can add 14 pills worth of wizard Adderall is basically what it is. It's not a real magic item, but you know what it does. Who is pulling the lever?
Pull the lever, Gronk.
Or would it be thematic for Niall to pull it since he's got to roll the dice?
Yes.
Yeah, Niall can pull it.
All
Niall
right,
has to pull it.
you guys.
I will pull this lever.
Roll of the dice in the midnight of the Feywild. I'm just trying to not make it sound like anything similar to anything that's like ever been written, so it's like
Definitely not copyrighted.
All right, as you pull the lever and the portal begins charging on, it's not instantaneous. You guys see the blue-green energy get pulled out of the coin down the lever mechanism in the center of the dais and begin to fill the runes as if water filling the cracks in stone. The portal begins to open, and very similar looking, but differently oriented than what you're used to, Moss. The portals that you've traveled through, even the ones with marble pillared gates that have been reinforced and made to look pretty, they look like a tear in the skin of an animal hide. Like they are pulled open and held there and made to look pretty with flowers and all sorts of stuff, but that is the magic of the Feywild to make things look beautiful. This is a incision. This is perfection, but it is still an opening, and the portal opens below you, and you realize that the dais that you're now sitting on is like a pane of glass. You're not falling through it yet. If you could roll a D100, please, Niall.
Here we go.
Secretly hoping that they roll really high.
Moss is just hoping we don't end anywhere compromising for him.
The Feyarati will get a picture of Moss.
Not even just that, like, the place that he lived for 100 years, the Moon Grove. There's like a list of places he does not want to end in.
I believe that's a 9.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Pretty sure.
You got a 009?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 9. That'll do
You
it.
are my angel.
Yeah, that is pretty much a perfect result. Damn it.
Oh.
You guys watch as the pane of glass that you're now standing on does not change. Does not you don't fall down a chute through the tower or teleport, but rather like a circular they use them on like theaters and stuff. A curtain comes up from the ground, like a magician's curtain that's around a person, and then it comes back down and the person's disappeared. It is lifted, and you guys see this like nebulous, sparkling, miasmic energy, not completely dissimilar to Moss's Dream Reaper form, come up around you, and it just folds over top, and as it compresses back into the dais, you guys are shunted into a new realm. I need everybody to make charisma saving throws, please.
Let's go, charisma.
Let's go.
Team charisma.
Let's go.
My charisma. Oh no.
Ooh, my
That
charisma save is
is-
decent.
You have advantage if you have against spells or charm effects. You have
Let's go.
advantage.
Let's go.
Do I have that? No, I don't.
I
Welcome.
got a natural 20
Let's go.
with a +1, so
Alright,
21.
well,
21.
Hang
Okay.
on.
I rolled one. I rolled a
Kim,
1
what'd
on
you
my
get?
first one.
Oh
So I'm rolling it.
no!
I have advantage. So I'm switching dice.
Whoa.
Nico got a nat 1.
I went for a 2. I got a +1.
I got a 12.
Got a 12. Moss, what'd you get?
18.
18. And Niall?
23.
23.
Damn.
So Soren and Nico, you guys, as you guys enter the Feywild, rather, we won't start with you guys. You guys land in an area heavily obscured. You seem to be inside a chamber or a room or a cave of some sort. You don't see light around you besides the glowing ring of the rat engine planted in the stony ground of wherever you landed.
Me and Nico.
All of you. You guys all look around, and as Nico and Soren, as you guys kind of take in and smell air from a different plane for the first time, you guys both pass out.
Oh, man.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, are they
No,
okay?
has Moss seen this before?
Yeah, usually they throw up
Yeah.
first, so good on them. Even Nico
know,
with an at 1
usually-
doesn't throw up because the machine kind of stabilizes the journey quite well.
No, they're fine. That's normal.
Oh, okay.
Actually, this is better because normally they throw up like their almost their entire stomach, if not their actual stomach. There was one guy, but no, this is better, and he's gonna go and gently like lift Soren up and try and wake him up.
Yeah, he wakes up fairly easily. It takes a moment for him to stop being in delirium.
I nudge Nico.
But Soren, you're awake. Nico takes a little bit longer.
Back to the world of the living.
But you guys are in a cavern.
Is it a familiar cavern?
No,
This is like-
because it's just the inside. I will say though, you are from the Feywild. Make an intelligence check with advantage.
Still a little tinge of glass touching.
Yeah, it hit the chip ball.
Chips? I don't want some
Not
chips.
not anymore. You said intelligence?
Yes.
That is 18.
18. It's not even just because of surroundings. You recall what you said mere moments ago, that some places in the Feywild have an echo version, including buildings. They kind of happen to have that. This clearly is not echoed in the Feywild. You are in the same... You haven't fallen, and the rat engine is in the ground. So you are likely in the side of a hill or a shallow mountain.
Oh, so... That's not entirely helpful. Is there a clear way out?
There is a tunnel that seems to lead
Okay.
in a singular direction.
Never mind. Marv's just kind of... Well, I can imagine that there is in fact not a reflection of your tower here after all. But it looks like our only way ahead is this way.
Nico, as you finally snap out of and it's nausea for sure. It's not comfortable, but it is definitely not as intense as descriptions from other mages that have portaled here. So you're like, yes, the machine stabilizers seem to have worked. It's not perfect. It's not a science yet, but it is good. The rat engine is fully intact. The lever, the centerpiece of the dais, the runes seem to have been transposed perfectly as theoretically described, with one small problem.
Oh.
The coin in the dais is gone. It was consumed. It was left behind.
What?
Not necessarily a problem because you're not trying to get to the Feywild anymore. You're there. But that coin that Moss gave is missing.
That's your symbol of your station, right?
I mean, no, it was just a gift, but...
Oh goodness. Hopefully it's still on the material, so when we get back, it'll be waiting right there, just in the little claws.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
fine.
fine. He pulls up the necklace, which is another one of them. I have, another one.
Well, that's something.
Although it is, my hat. It looks a little bare now.
Just because I don't have Foundry open, what is everyone's passive perception?
16.
12.
12.
I think mine.
small.
I think mine might be the
Passive.
same as Moss's, or 15, 16 or 15.
Mine's a 16.
Okay,
Actually-
16s.
Wait, fuck. Come on. It is. Sorry, I don't know why this is taking so long because it's 15.
15. So the three of you, 15 and 16s, you guys begin to hear like a powering of some sort of motor or vacuum, or you're not entirely sure. But it appears to be coming either from the machine, or most of you are still standing in the vicinity of or on it, in that direction.
Oh no. Walking off, getting away from it.
Where are you going, Moss?
I'm just stepping away from the machine that's making sounds.
Sounds?
Oh,
What kind of
I was-
sounds?
I heard that too.
As it
been a lot away from
continues to grow louder, Nico, you hear a loud, whirring, humming sound coming from your backpack.
Wow. From my backpack?
Or from your little...
Yeah, from my Poltergeist 3000.
Yeah.
I'll take that off and take a look at it. What's making the noise?
The machine is struggling to keep up with the intake, you already have about 100 milliliters in the tank.
This is amazing. This is
which
amazing.
would usually take about 4 or 5 weeks.
Think of the possibilities. All it is a short little jaunt over. You schloop up a bunch, and then all of a sudden you pop back, and then you're like, sorry, Faye. Well, no, your blade of grass. This is ours now. And then think of how many people that could help. Think of how many people don't have to die.
Well, that's not realistic because we still lose it.
Yes, but to refill, to have repositories somewhere.
Yes.
You know, there's an entire Ansel Republic that, you know, they have armies for that to pass things around, right?
You plan to find a way to make it permanent before you distribute it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is only a temporary solution, Nico.
Oh, of course, yes, but there's people suffering in the meantime that we can heal their, or like, you know, aid their suffering and then address the root cause after that.
Right. But a blade of grass, I feel, is not an apt comparison, seeing as we have absolutely no idea what it does. Not that I'm against, you know, helping people this way, just that little hesitant to expect things to work out 100% with no, you know, other...
They're not going to work out 100%. This is science. Things never work out the first time.
I tug on Niles' sweater.
She's scaring me.
You
Only a little bit.
you need to realize that some more of essence you take, so someone might be. You are literally stealing matter from another plane, and I think someone would notice that. Being eventually.
For barely a second, and it's already so full.
Yeah, and that is how much?
I'm just
A week.
Tempering your expectations a little bit.
Of course. You know, but you've got to aim high, otherwise how do we get anywhere? How do you get any innovation if you don't dream big? So, it's all good. This is long term, nothing that we're going to do right now. Don't worry, nobody's going to come. I'm not going to take enough for anybody to notice. Probably. And I'm just gonna be
just starts walking out of the
I'll get a little
cavern.
notebook out. I'm taking notes as we're figuring out where we are, how we're doing.
Yeah, we should go outside and try to get our bearings.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Easily enough to follow the cavern. There's only one way out. And in fact, the dust on the floor of the cavern is only disturbed by a single set of footsteps that appear to lead in the same direction you're traveling. Soon enough, you begin to see light, and it is a red-hewn light. It is not the same color of the sun in Patria that you are familiar with. And eventually begin to see... you're up on a mountain, so you're seeing mainly the sky. You haven't gotten to a vantage point where you could see down onto the land. Moss, you immediately recognize where you are.
Oh, no.
You are in the realm of Mardan.
Okay.
You are in a place to the northern edge of the Epoch Valley, where many of the satyrs live, where many of the centaurs and minotaurs and other bestials.
You're telling me we're on the northern end of it?
You're on the edge that touches the Epoch Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
The
like we were on
adjacent
the
edge.
opposite edge.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. You are in a land known as the Plains of Merciless Amber. Huge plains of... There are treed areas. There are like outcroppings of forested areas of red-orange grass, trees of like rocky amber material, the sun put through the lens of a thick globule of amber itself, dispersing the light to a very orange ambient light rather than a directional light from the sun. This area is heavily controlled by a nomadic tribe of centaurs. However, many bestial races can be found here. You can find Harangon, you can find centaurs, satyrs, minotaurs. A lot of the clans of the beasts, as they're colloquially known as, live in this region. They live everywhere, but this is their homeland. The plains of merciless amber, nestled within the realms of Mardon, beckon with an untamed allure. However, something that is different, Moss, as you only noticed this the second you were leaving, the Feywild entering the grip of winter. A chilling wind sweeps across the landscape, whispering tales of the approaching cold. The air, once perfumed with wildflowers, now carries a crispness that bites the exposed skin, a tangible reminder of the season's embrace. Upon entering into this valley of the mountain where you're kind of on the outcropping looking down, a scene unfolds where autumn's fiery hues blend with the ethereal touch of frost. And the amber-colored grass almost has a blonde tone to it, with the snow that has fallen and clung. There's no feet of snow anywhere, but there is that morning frosted dew that is ever present. The grass and foliage, once vibrant and red-orange like amber, now bears delicate traces of crystalline frost, glistening like diamonds in the pale ambient sunlight. The land seems caught in a dance of warmth and cold, a fusion that captivates your senses and mutes the smell of the plains of merciless amber, which are usually very warm. Some even compare it to the smell of a nice red summer's wine. The tones have been cut off with the briskness of winter. Looking around, you guys take in rolling hills, slopes adorned with that dusting of pristine white, undulate across the landscape with a serene majesty. There are sparse trees, stripped mostly of their colorful foliage, as they have shed their glass leaves, standing as stark silhouettes against the wintry, muted orange-gray sky.
So that leads Moss to an immediate concern of the Nelithan Court. What is winter?
Winter in the Nelithan Court is a sign of either distress or war.
That's what I thought.
I'm just fucking freezing right now.
Yes, Soren is not good.
Oh, but this is not good.
What are you telling me?
One thing you do notice as well, and you guys all
sorry?
take this in. You guys all take this in as you guys begin speaking. There are wildlife everywhere. There is a very active. These are plains. You see deer that, even from this vantage point, seem larger than they should be. You see a pack of about half a dozen centaurs running across in the distance, chasing after wild animals with bows and arrows. This is a very active portion of the Feywild.
Well,
Wow.
so
This is so pretty, Moss.
yes, it's very lovely. Only concern is winter usually means a lot of violence in the Feywild.
Oh. Normally means dead in the material plane, but that's weird.
No, it just means an abnormal amount of violence. That being the case, though, just to give me an idea, how from where we are, where is Raleigh and where is House Varix, the seat of power?
So,
relative to where we are.
the interesting part about the Feywild is that directions lose a lot of meaning. And it is almost impossible to map out the Feywild. But your natural Fey intuition kind of writes yourself. You've been to the Plains of Merciless Amber before.
I'm the Gandalf.
You are. Yeah, this is your homeland, and you have stewarded over it. One thing
I've walked around a lot.
One thing I will clarify: in your lifetime, there has never been a winter.
Holy shit!
Lifetime?
You have gotten to fall, and you have been in fall for probably the last century or so. But you have never seen snowfall in the Feywild.
Oh, that's not good.
This is bigger than the courts fighting. This is something more dangerous.
Oh, no, this
and
is...
you are worried that nothing has been told to you by your mother or by any other contact. Because as you left the Feywild, the very same day, the snow began to fall. Not that you know that, but Bear, out of character, would know that. To answer your original question, you are in the southernmost area of the Feywild's version of Valena. It is not a one-to-one map. The landscape has changed drastically. Below you, to the immediate south, is the Epoch Valley, where the seat of the Ascension or the Ascendancy sit, and the plains of Merciless Amber kind of bridge the border of the crust of that land, if you will. The realms of Mardan stretch all the way to the northern tip, where you find the land of Mercandu. Throughout, almost like a river, through the realms of Mardan is the Heartstream that, again, like a river, encircles and sways through, and the borders ebb and flow with a unknown agreement between House Ferrex, or whatever remains of it. The seat of power that you ask for lies in a city central, on actually the edge of the Heartstream, where one of their riverbanks line up, in a city named... sorry. It is... the city of Krolasia. Krolasia, I'll put that in notes.
So, yeah, Moss is like, or it would have a totally different reaction to seeing the snow then. It would be like, oh, this is so much, it's only winter when things are bad, and it's never been winter.
Oh, that's not good.
But it's beautiful.
It is pretty.
And I'm not going to give this to you for free, but if you want to give me a history check, I will tell you right now the DC is 22.
Okay. I'll take a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Secrets. Oh.
It landed in the chip booth.
Is it laying flat? Is it laying flat?
Yes,
okay.
it was laying flat. It wasn't cocked.
For a total
it
of?
spun around
It's greasy.
23.
23.
I have a +3
remember being
investigation.
told at a young age, which was probably in your 30s, you don't remember, the last time snow fell, not the last time winter came, but the last time it got so close that snow fell was the moments before the Ascendancy took power.
Oh.
So when Mother's Mercy was kicking off.
The last time it snowed in the Feywild was when it was at risk of being completely unraveled entirely.
Should we be here?
Well, yeah, your professor. What?
If it's that horrible, should, like...
Well, your professor's probably down there. We gotta go. She's the key.
True.
Go. We have to go.
We have no choice now, but be careful and have your wits about you.
Soren, would you like my jacket?
Yeah. Sorry.
Actually, Soren's gonna fucking shift to his shift weave and fucking switch to a warmer clothing.
Ooh.
Because I would have probably packed all weathers because I've been up north, so I would have grabbed that.
Yeah, you learned pretty quickly in the northern portion of the Outer Lands that
Soren's seen snow,
pretty...
but he fucking hates it.
One thing, Raleigh, where is that in comparison?
Raleigh will be to the far east.
Okay, so far away?
Northeast, yeah.
Okay, good.
At least a week's journey.
Good.
Depending
good.
on how you
need to go
navigate the
there.
Feywild.
Right. So,
That's where we're headed, is Raleigh.
no.
No, we're heading away from there.
Yeah.
We never go to Raleigh.
Oh, you said that was where your mother was, right?
No,
but
his mother's to the south. Raleigh is a very different town that, for reasons unknown, Moss is banned from.
It's okay, I've been
Banned
there. Aren't we all banned from a town?
I wouldn't say. I'm just saying I don't want to go back. But
I'm actually banned from the town.
that being said, you have no clue where your professor went.
No. We saw one set of footsteps as we left.
Yeah,
Right.
can you track them?
Those continue.
Together. Perhaps those were hers, because maybe the rat engine hops into the same place, provided the magic goes well. That's my theory.
Ideally,
But beyond that, I know not.
that would be how it operated.
Theoretically.
Is there any time differences in the Feywilds and the material plane?
I don't want to alarm you, but we will have no idea how long it's been until we get back.
Well, that's not my point. I meant more of like, if time is exponentially different, or like that to always constantly changing, then time here could be slow or it could be really exponentially faster, and we don't know how much time has passed here.
Correct.
So you said your mentor was dead, and how remind me again how long it's been? Or your mentor was old, not dead.
She's not dead, as far as I understand. Not yet
To
dead.
Soren, that's the same thing.
It's an old dead.
Yeah, it's like being trapped in a painting.
Potato.
About 4 months on the material.
So
She
it could
planned to be
be.
gone for 1 and was then missing for an additional
Moss
3.
understanding the way that it can work, that unfortunately does not help. It could be, she could have been here for 3 hours. She could have been here for 5 years. It works in both directions.
worse.
And actually, this is the DM saying this. If one of you could nominate yourself to keep track of how many long rests you guys take while here.
I can do
please.
that.
Okay. You guys can all if you want, but if someone could please keep a very accurate tally of every time you do a long rest, please.
What type of weather is it? Like sunny day, cloudy,
The
overcast?
sun is a permanent orange-hued ambience, but it is chilly. The wind is biting you.
Does the sun look bigger or smaller?
It's
material?
cloudy a little bit, so it's kind of hard to tell. It looks to be around the same size, but the atmosphere kind of carrying, you have like a colored lamp in a room. Even if it's not on, the light that hits it has that hue, right? So the grass that is orange and amber, it is permanently this kind of misty orange ambience everywhere. Which diffuses the light quite nicely. It's nice on the eyes, but it is, yeah.
Can I track the footprints?
Give me a survival check, yeah. You've been following them, so they've been easy to see, but as you step into the grass, it might get a little bit more difficult.
Does it break like glass?
Survival.
Like crunchy?
Can I help her?
Yeah, you can grant her advantage.
Also, as I pass before I go help Aqua, must do the day's work similar to the prime material?
In what way?
Like, we can tell when it's evening, we can tell when it's nighttime, we can tell when it's morning. Okay.
That's the Ascendancy's main, not focus, but the most obvious, their most obvious influence is night and day.
Except in the land of Mercandu.
Yeah, except for Mercandu, because they are weird.
They're weird.
Yeah,
To answer your question, Nico, it doesn't shatter like glass. It's actually, the best way I could describe it is, weirdly enough, think like either like Lego or like plastic toys, where it can kind of click into different orientations, so it kind of compresses the same way that if you walk the same path, eventually it turns into like a dirt path. It's definitely uneven to walk on because you don't see any pathing. various hooved and otherwise creatures that roam these areas do not need those pathings, or rather the grass does not allow them to permeate.
Yeah. Do I know what the nearest, like, settlement or, like, civilization would be?
I will say, the last bit of information that I will give you for free about the Plains of Merciless Amber, as you will be an expert in this area, but something, you're not you're not the only.
I'm not an encyclopedia.
Exactly, yeah. The Plains of Merciless Amber is full of many nomadic clans. And with the fuckery of the Feywild, as it'll become known to you guys, it is even worse than the Vistarian Wilds, where they rotate and, they might have settlements that they unoccupy and then come back and reoccupy. You guys, if you want to speak to some sort of civilization, will have to find a clan.
Well, we've seen centaurs running already, right?
Yep.
At the distance. So if we see any others, Moss is going to try and message.
You always try to talk to them. Either way, I got a 15.
15 survival with advantage?
Yes.
Okay. You see the tracks exit the dusty cave and enter the frosty exterior of the cave, and it does continue downwards. At least at this moment in time, you do not see any other tracks besides obviously the ones you guys are creating, leading towards the sunset in the direction that the sun is moving. Again, northeast, southwest is a little bit more complicated here.
You have to move with intention.
Yes.
Which is probably why your professor might have gotten lost. Because they just don't know what's here, so it tends to keep people who are lost.
So, can we start walking and finding this professor?
Yes, I assumed we were already walking.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You guys begin scaling down the side of this not very steep mountain is a strong word. It is much more a hill with a craggy orange kind of sandstone rock exterior. And as you get down to the base of this hill into a series of rolling valleys that, much like a sand dune, seem to move with the wind. Whether that's a reflection of the grass, you're not too sure. You guys begin to move in the direction that you saw the centaurs traveling in. Okay. With Moss and, at least for the first leg of this journey, Aqua leading the way due to the survival check following those tracks. You are going in the same way as those tracks, not exactly beelining for where you saw them disappear over the horizon, but in that general direction towards the sunset. We will stop there for a little breaky break. And we will come back. Welcome to the Feywild, everyone. You guys rolled very well on where to end up, so that should make things a little bit more pleasant, at least starting the Feywild. The Feywild quickly devolves into chaos. And we will see you guys.
Just wait till the tooth fairies catch wind of us.
Oh no, not the tooth fairies. Just to make it simple, we will be back at the top of the hour, so we'll have a little bit of an extended break. We'll give you 17 minutes. Get some water, get a washroom break, a bio break, whatever you guys need, and we'll see you guys back at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for tuning in so far, and we'll see you soon. Someone say toast?
Toast?
Hey guys, welcome back.
Hi.
I think we're ready. Mac waited until the very last moment of our break to go make some toast. So everyone, please shame Mac in chat a little bit.
He made it. He just didn't
Mac in
spread
chat.
it.
Oh, he didn't. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Did I miss something? He made the toast, but didn't spread the toast?
He didn't spread peanut butter on his toast yet. That's what he said he was going to go do.
What kind of man? Okay, you know what? That's fair.
He got distracted talking to us during break, so he didn't peanut butter his toast.
Just gonna eat my chicken. All right.
Well, I'm jealous. Everyone has got food. I don't.
Don't worry, I don't have food now either.
He is food.
Fair.
I've got water though.
I too have water.
Yeah.
No. A big water commercial going on over there.
Tyler disappeared.
No, hold on.
Oh, Tyler's dead.
I was refreshing because 2 people didn't exist for me. Hold on.
Welcome back to Patria, guys.
Come on down.
We're the new dungeon masters.
Oh no.
All of us.
A 5-man dungeon crawl.
Every secret.
5
We are
versus
ninja.
1, but the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tyler is now the player.
Yeah. He is indeed the silly Tyler.
We're gonna separate like different, like someone will be the arm, someone will be the other arm.
Can I be the right painting?
Like some sort
Yeah,
of
but-
Resident Evil monster that's just made out of mushy corpses.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was going for more of a Voltron thing, but yeah.
You were going for something cool, not disgusting. That's fair. Welcome back,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thanks.
Y'all are just chilling in the Feywild. What are we doing? Following the
Following along
the snowy
Yeah.
trail of hopefully
snowy trail.
Professor Torwin and not some sort of creepy monster. Yeah.
Follow the
Just-
snowy
it's gonna be
trail.
that goblin. It's gonna be that motherfucking goblin that has a grudge against me.
Oh yeah.
I have an important question for you, Moss, just before I start taking samples. Is it okay if I, take a blade of grass? It has such interesting properties. Is that all right if I, take some, or should I just...
I mean, I'd rather you take a clipping of grass and a flower here or there than, siphon the actual essence of the place.
Okay.
That's,
Because I was like, I
that
can
makes
just
me
draw,
less
but I'm just not as good as
uncomfortable.
Aqua is at drawing, so my scientific
No.
drawings
Oh,
look
that's
a little funny.
it's a hit and miss for me. Don't worry.
All right, I just didn't want anyone to murder me for, taking a blade of grass, because, it
No,
makes
I
that
don't
weird,
think-
clicking sound while it bends.
Yeah, no, just don't eat it,
Don't
What?
eat it, but if I put it in a vial, that's okay.
Yeah,
But don't spread it on toast.
no.
Gotcha. All right, noted. I just
And if
figured
you
I should
have
ask before I start just doing it.
if you have a grass allergy or know anyone that has a grass allergy, keep them far away.
But it's... What?
We're bringing allergies into this campaign too.
What happens if
Oh gosh.
Where's the
grass?
happy
Well, see, when Kyella left, she created allergies.
Oh no!
That's why Data has the nut allergy.
Canon.
Canon.
Kyella leaving created allergies.
Mother's mercy, how dare you?
Wait, what happens if you eat the grass?
We could try it and find out.
Don't.
It depends. Sometimes it's like glass, and sometimes it's like grass.
Glassy grass.
You telling
It
me that
depends
this
on-
entire plains is Schrodinger's grass?
Well, it's like, are you gonna eat amber crystals or?
No, I just want to eat the grass.
Don't eat the grass, Aqua.
Why not?
Aqua, do you eat the grass?
I will be
Also,
taking
if you eat
notes.
the grass, you might die.
I will physically restrain Aqua if she tries to eat the grass.
But Dad.
But ma'am!
Um,
Listen, Hank Green has taught me that you can eat grass. It's fine.
I think actually he said, "Don't eat the grass."
No, I don't think that's what he said.
was it eat it or touch it? I can't remember.
Honestly, it's a 50-50, so you might as well try it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll touch the grass.
Yeah,
Wait, can I talk to it?
Wait.
You can talk to anything, really. But if you have to speak with plants, you touch it and it feels like grass, like that crisp, like compression, but it like clicks like crystal glass. Like, it's weird. It's more of an auditory thing, but it still feels like glass or grass. Oh my god, it's 2 words are too similar. Oh my god, she touched grass. Let's go.
Guys, I touched grass.
You're no longer a gamer.
Oh no.
Nope.
Has it? Do you feel any different? Is there did it attack you? Did it reach out
It's
to
not
you?
going to attack her. I just said, "Don't eat it."
I just need notes. I just want to know all of the properties of the grass.
Well, it made a clicky sound. It felt soft.
Like grass.
I like grass.
Aqua,
I like anything.
You're holding like a handful. You haven't ripped it out, but you're like holding like an earthen handful.
Moss
It's
looks
weird to
around.
feel.
Is anybody watching?
I like it.
Make a perception check.
I'm not looking at Aqua.
Are you taking us on a walking tour?
16.
I'm heading the
16?
ground.
You don't see anyone nearby.
Okay.
Well, if we're done looking at the grass, then
Are we
Let's
going to
go
waste?
look at that tree.
Are we going to waste time on every blade of grass, or are we going to actually try to do something?
I just wanted to know if anything would hurt me if I took some, so I'm just gonna take some.
You just grab everything that doesn't move.
It smells
It's-
like sweet almost.
Ooh. Lick
I
it.
want to lick it so bad.
Lick it. Lick it. It's for science. You're here for science, right?
That's not safe though. You have to waft it. You don't actually ingest it. You know.
Yeah, you're telling me all these safety things, so why don't you just do it?
Aqua.
Yes.
Aqua, you can try the grass.
Please do.
Yeah, I'll take notes.
Okay, I'll go on my hands and knees and like lick the grass.
I'm
You-
pulling her back up.
Okay, make a contested grapple check to see if you can restrain her from licking the grass.
Can I
Sorry,
touch Aqua
everyone.
and give her guidance for this?
Yeah.
I just want to lick grass.
Instigator.
I'm not eating it. I just want to lick it.
What's your dexterity, Soren?
Mine?
Yeah, your modifier.
Oh, +2.
Niles, what's your dexterity?
+5.
+5.
+4.
Yeah, Nile gets to Aqua before you can get there to
Can
do
we
guidance.
roll up for that? Because that seems unfair.
You guys want to roll initiative for this fucking grapple check?
No, just roll to see who gets there first.
Sure, make a dexterity check.
Fine with me.
All right.
Well, the question is like, where are you both standing? Because I know obviously Niall's standing beside me.
Well, I was helping you with your survival check, so I'm kind of
That's
close.
true. Actually, Soren was right there.
True.
What'd you get, Soren?
I got a 13.
I got a 12.
Oh my god. Okay, Soren, you
He
get the
probably
guidance
just
off.
touched me with a finger.
So what's the grapple check result?
17.
17. What'd you get, Aqua?
Oh wait, I didn't know what I was rolling.
Acrobatics or
you can
athletics?
you can add a +1 to that.
Oh wait, acrobatics?
Acrobatics or what? Sorry.
You're doing a athletics or strength check to try restrain them, and Aqua
mind
can either physically overpower you or slip out of your grasp, so they get a better choice of what skill.
Never mind, I got a 13 then.
13. Uh-oh.
That was dexterity.
You're slinky.
Guess we're gonna find out.
What'd you get, Aqua?
I got 11.
Oh,
No!
okay. You pull like the scruff of her collar.
Acrobatics.
You pull her back
I roll better on that.
and prevent her from licking the grass.
Why can't I lick the grass? It's just licking. Oh, you said not to eat it.
Could you just do me a small favor and not ingest every single thing that we come across, because it might kill you, and I'd rather you not be dead.
But it wasn't okay.
Moss picks up a
Thank you.
blade of grass and eats it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very sweet, almost like a syrup. Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
That's a natural 19.
Okay.
+2 for 21.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Can I
Does Moss know what the grass does?
Absolutely.
go look at?
Yeah.
Are there
What does it
footprints
do?
around?
There's nothing really like, it's not gonna poison her or anything. It's
Yeah.
highly addictive.
Oh,
Oh. Yeah.
damn.
That's why Moss is just not telling you
That's where the turn
why.
your ass's. That's where the turn your ass's grass came from, because you're addicted to grass.
Yep.
Just
It's an old Feywild saying.
Your ass is in the grass.
I'm gonna look around. Is there a victim of the addiction that I can see nearby? Like
No, the grass
a
itself is
animal?
it's amber. Like, it is literally amber. So it's a sweet, syrupy, like molasses type thing. So really it just like rots your teeth out, and it's like being addicted to sugar. Like, it's just in general bad for you.
Yeah.
Except for fairies. It does have some magical effects on fairies. Just due to the high concentration of sugar.
Is it like giving them speed or something?
Yeah, it's basically, yeah.
Cool. I mean, okay. It's not going to do anything necessarily bad, but it could lead you to make poor life choices in the future.
It's a gateway grass.
And people give it to fairies as a joke, so
Oh.
and it
That
makes
is
them go
so
crazy.
fucked up.
Okay. What if you...
Anyway,
You know what? Soren's gonna take some grass just in case we run into a fairy that he wants to bribe.
Okay, you pocket some amber grass, no problem.
Can I do a? I'm just kidding. I'm
You
not gonna
guys
bother.
continue traveling. You guys can vamp as much as you want. It makes my job way easier.
After I grab some grass, after Moss says something about it, fairies finding like a delicacy or whatever.
No, not a delicacy. We give it. It's given as like a prank, like a horrible prank.
Well, they like it, right?
I
Yes.
mean,
Some.
The answer is yes.
very few.
That's enough for our numbers.
I'm not saying anything.
I'd rather not run into a fairy.
Well, after I grab the grass,
The gas.
Can I? Are we still kind of following the footprints at this rate?
I believe so.
probably.
Sorry, I distracted the tracker from tracking.
I'll track this time. While
Sorry.
she's over there
I had
contemplating the
slight
lesson
audio
now.
issues. I missed that last 10 seconds.
We're still tracking the
Just
footsteps,
talking
right?
about
I kind of figured I was in the clear to reset my audio driver there.
Yeah. Soren took over tracking.
I got a 22.
Awesome. You guys continue to... Now, are you following where the satyrs went? Or the centaurs went, sorry? Or are you following where the tracks lead?
Professor
trap.
Oak.
The professor, I was going to say Tuttle, but that's not even,
Torwin.
even
Torwin.
anything. Torwin.
Totoro.
But yeah, I'm following Professor Torwin's tracks.
Okay. You guys travel for... Now, this is interesting. Moss has a better idea of how it works, but Moss, to kind of better explain the... the society of the Feywild, time and night cycles, they exist.
Not important.
They're not
Yeah.
important because most creatures
Exactly.
of the Feywild live for eons. You guys, besides fairies,
Yeah.
who have a actually fairly short lifespan, all things considered, most creatures live into centuries. So
Yeah.
days, it doesn't really matter. So for anyone with an intelligence below 16, so 15 and below, you are struggling after a number of hours to keep track of how long you've been traveling, especially in an area where it all looks the same. None of you have the keen mind feat, thank God. So the passage of time is less important, which is why the DM said, just tell me how many times you guys long rest, because that's what is really important, is how many 24-hour material plane cycles you guys complete. While you're in here. But while you're in here, I will tell you how long it's been in terms of when you think you might need to rest. But in terms of a combat, it'll just be dependent on if you guys are spent in terms of action economy, if you guys think you need to rest or not. You guys continue to march on for a period of time. The sun doesn't appear to be moving in the sky nearly as fast as it does in the material plane. Or you guys are very confused about the passage of time. It is very hard to tell, but the sun appears to be slowly creeping towards the horizon. You follow the track for a period of time that must be hours. Around you, you come across several sections that kind of interpose with this path, kind of cutting around and through it, of a traveling pack of some sort of hooved beast, whether that be non-intelligent life forms such as elk and various animal husbandry that exists here, or whether that be centaur, minotaurs, satyrs,
I'm a little
Harengen.
rusty on my animal footprints, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it is tough to outline them. Soren, even with a 22, you're just following what you believe is footprints and what you believe is humanoid footprints. The glass grass does not shape the same way that actual material grass does in the material plane. So it's a little bit more difficult, but you are still following whatever path you were following before. As you guys continue your journey, within a relatively short period of assumed time, you're all fairly fatigued. I think the after effects, even for you, Moss, just because this is the new way to teleport and enter the Feywild and move through between the planes, you chalk it up to transplanar fatigue. You're all fairly tired, but the sun is still very much in the sky, much like a late summer's night. You do not have the moon to guide you into your dreams, but you are starting to get pretty tired. You are still very much in the deep plains of Merciless Amber. You've passed through treed areas, very almost like palm tree-esque trees, so very high canopy with very empty or barren oh my lord.
Branches?
No, trunk. The trunk of the tree is very barren, much like a palm tree. Yeah, you guys are starting to get pretty sleepy.
Whoa. Sleepy?
Moss less so, but even that the fatigue of travel is starting to wear on you.
Like I could use a good sit down.
Yeah, can we stop for a bit?
You all look quite tired.
Maybe we could all use a rest.
And look around, is there any suitable space that we might be able to take cover?
Probably in the next few miles, you spot in the distance another outcropping of trees. Besides that, there's no real cover. You guys could get cover in like the valley between a set of hills, but other than that, you were in the plains. You are out in the open. Mm-hmm. The only advantage is the terrain is not flat, so there is some visibility differential.
Well, I'd reckon we push up towards those trees there and make camp over there.
Trees are safe to camp in?
I wouldn't say camp in them, but under them.
But, like, we won't be... Like, they're not gonna come to life or anything?
Depends on
material plane.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if they're an ant or not, but from a distance, they just look like normal trees.
I guess we'll find out if they're alive or not when you approach them.
Sounds great.
I feel like
everyone
I
is
might
just
have...
sleepy.
I
don't know, let's find out.
Led you to believe things are a little more dangerous than... Or things are a little more immediately dangerous than they are. I wouldn't imagine most of the wild plant life attacking you.
The plains of Merciless Amber are fairly safe. You'd put it at a solid like 3 out of 5. So it's right in the middle. It's
about is the lions.
the dangerous parts of Mardon are the jungles, where the difference between a tree vine and an entity is hard to determine.
It's more so when we get into the proper jungles of the Feywild that we actually need to worry about what's crawling in our boots at night and what's actually a leaf and what's a thing that's going to bite your finger off.
Me.
You're going to bite someone's finger off?
Nico instinctively puts her hands in her pocket.
I need these.
I need these.
I know you picked that one goblin finger up, but
That's the goblin finger. Da, 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 da.
But
you just have a finger?
Yeah, I have a goblin finger.
She picked it up off the ground.
Oh.
She didn't bite it off.
So you didn't bite that finger off.
Black's finger?
Yeah, I still have Oobnek's fingers. Kind of rotting though.
It's
That's,
Oobnacked.
that feels morally.
Is that why you kind of stink?
Don't say
I had a
that.
smell.
I mean, there was a musk, yes.
I know rotting flesh and is a familiar smell, and you kind of remind me of home.
Soren, that's like the nicest thing you've ever said.
I don't know if that's nice.
No, it's a compliment.
I don't know if that's nice.
Well, the fact that it reminds you of home, where your home had Kuno, it's good enough for me.
Okay.
You guys eventually
Think whatever
reach.
you want.
You guys eventually reach that outcropping. You guys set up for the night. You guys have your regular camping gear. It's weird because the orange hue around you kind of intuitively feels like it should be warm to you, but with the unyielding winds that are bringing in the winter, it is still quite chilly. So you set up some windbreaker tents to protect yourselves. Nico, you check the canister. It is about a third of the way full already.
God.
It's about 4 liters.
I'll spend time like decanting it into other containers with my little poltergeist.
Who's taking the first watch?
I can take first watch.
Niall
was gonna say.
and Niall and Moss will take first watch. I'll leave it open to the other 3 players who are resting. Do you, with the comfort of your tent, think you fall asleep relatively easily your first night in the Feywild? Do you think you would have? You're quite fatigued, so the body will shut down. But how do you guys think you are in terms of getting the rest quickly?
Not good. Not because we're in the Feywild. The other things.
Yeah, that
doesn't
was
help, though.
earlier
Other
today.
emotional
Yeah.
reasons.
It was literally the same day.
Yeah. What about you, Nico?
I'm restless because this is the first night I'm really putting my lives in these strangers' hands.
Absolutely.
So we'll see if they can hold up their end of the bargain. I'm making sure I don't die.
And Aqua?
I'm super pumped, super excited. It's a bunch of new, different nature, but because of the amount of hyperness, all of a sudden I'm like sugar crash and I just pass out.
Okay, you're out cold. Okay,
Yeah, I'm out.
great. Now my second question, this now only really pertains to Nico and Soren. Are you guys under the cover of your tent? Are you sleeping outside in a bag? What's your sleeping arrangement?
Technically, I'm pretty sure who only is the only person who actually had a tent in their inventory was Kuno.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, miss Kuno's tent.
I miss Kronos' tent.
So Nico is in their tent, nice and cozy and safe with a canister of Fey juice. Niall, Soren, and Moss are exposed to the elements, still protected with some tent cover, but otherwise outside. Soren trying to sleep while the 2 of you take watch. Before you even get a chance to take that perception check, I need the 3 of you to make Constitution saving throws. You have advantage if you have advantage on charm effects.
Wait, me?
Yep, the 3 of you.
Natural 20.
Nice.
This
This is your land.
This is my land.
22.
22.
I'm in my element.
Niall.
23.
Okay. You guys are all fine as you stare up at the beginning of the night sky. Moss, you see maybe something you keep to yourself. I'll let that be your call. You see your mother's moon begin to take the sky. A echo of the moon in Patria slightly different, and you know the legends of how this moon came to be. For before the ascendancy, there was no day-night cycle. And the Council of Dreams, which is the name before the Fey ascendancy,
Correct.
established this day-night cycle and thus established this moon. As it begins to take the sky, very unique to the Feywild, and Niall, you see this, and Soren, you start to see this before you doze off, trailing the moon, as if painting the blue night sky is a wave of stars. And it begins to kind of seep out like an exhaust trail, sort of. Not like a jet trail, but actual like a cloud of fog that is sparkling and filling the night sky with an illusion, with actual stars. You are unsure. But you do not fall to the effects of gazing upon the first moon of the winter's night. You guys can make your perception checks, either separately or one of you with advantage.
What's your perception bonus?
+2.
I have +6.
I'm going to give an advantage to you.
Thank you. So kind of you. Unless I roll a 3 and a 4.
I think it also makes sense that you'd probably be more on edge because you're like, Moss would be more on edge, so he'd be more on the lookout.
Absolutely. But I rolled a total of 10.
Okay.
So,
Oof.
right.
You
Big oof.
Pumpkin
both
dice let me do.
hear on the edge of your encampment a series of footsteps breaking the glassy grass. These very small footsteps.
Moss will stand up and pull the orb out.
You pull the orb out. It is a solid gray sphere.
Wait, like not
cement.
colorful?
Like cement.
Oh, you fucked up, boy. I realized I wasn't muted. Fuck.
Moss stops and looks at it.
Moss?
I will say that distracts you long enough, Moss, because that is quite jarring.
That like completely fucked with him.
Niall, what languages do you speak?
Abyssal, deep speech, elvish, and infernal.
Jesus! Are you good, my guy? Holy!
Oh my god!
You were the goth
like
kid in
every
high school for
forbidden
sure. And Moss,
shit.
just for your periphery, what languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, Giant, and Sylvan.
You, after a moment of what the fuckery with your orb, hear a couple of small, high-pitched voices talking in Sylvan. And Niall, you see the creatures first. You're looking kind of up, just because the trees, you're naturally looking up. You look down and you see 4 cats. Like house cats, not tabaxi. Walking on their hind legs. The one in the front is holding open a map. The second one from the front has a pair of glasses on that are like perfectly circular, but like completely opaque. And the other 2 seem to be smaller and are kind of bickering in a language you don't understand. And they are walking across your path. They kind of see the, well, you tell me if you have a fire, but they see your encampment. And Moss, this is when you kind of clue in and you see the 2 in the front be like, fucking tourists, and begin to like make a way around, and they're just...
Excuse me, tourists!
Oh, shit, Mary, he heard us! Quick, sorry.
Right, I heard you. Just be polite.
Sorry, I didn't... Like, you don't look like you're from here, except for you. Oh. Mary,
What's going on?
back away slowly. We are so sorry.
You're fine. I'm not gonna hold a grudge. It's delightful to see you all. You go. Have a good night. I hope you don't stay lost. You look lost. Do you need any help?
Mary and Ellis wanted to take the scenic route through the prairies, so to speak. But yes, we are quite lost. Do you know how to get to the Rhyme's Edge, by any chance?
Rhyme's Edge. Do I know where the Rhyme's Edge is?
The Rhyme's Edge is a mountain range in the opposite direction.
So where we just came from?
Yes,
Or-
yeah. It is to the east of the eastern edge that touches the Epoch Valley.
Is that where we just came from, or is that...
Not too far off.
Okay. Oh, I mean, it's just those mountains over there.
Oh, really? There seems so close. Says we have at least a week's travel.
You'd be surprised how long it might take you to get there.
Yes, well, thank you, kind sir. And,
Yeah, of course.
Sorry again.
Mr. Moongrove. No, of course. Carry on, you little ones.
the two little kids are kind of like murmuring back and forth, and one of them looks at your, like, muted orb. Like, why is he carrying a rock? It's so big. I would squish you. And they walk off.
Moss just sits down with the orb in his lap and tries to focus on it intently.
Are you not going to explain to me what the hell just happened?
Oh, sorry, they were lost. I gave them directions.
Okay.
Full on house cats. One of them was wearing black sunglasses.
All right. Whatever you said.
mean,
What's going on with the orb?
I don't know. That's what has me more worried than the talking cats.
Fair enough. You focus on the orb. I'll continue keeping watch then.
The orb is my arcane focus. I'm gonna try and cast Prestidigitation.
Nothing.
Try to cast Disguise Self.
Niall, you watch as Moss closes his eyes and makes a face like he's trying to squeeze out a turd. Nothing.
Moz just, his eyes are open and he's just like 1,000-yard stare.
Is everything all right?
I can't cast anything.
That doesn't sound good.
I put it into orb.
Does that mean your magic is trapped in there?
Well, no, it was my arcane focus. I could, technically get another one, but I've had this one for a really long time. And it's never done this before.
I don't know a lot about magic, but that doesn't really sound normal to me.
I'm going to try and speak to the entity. Can I try and call, even in my within myself?
Yep. You spend the next half hour trying to usher it forward. For the first time in your existence, you are but a humble furbolg.
Moz opens his book of pulls open his book of shadows and starts flipping through the pages. Just like no.
You can't read the book.
Stop.
I can't read my book.
I can't read either.
What does that mean?
Jesus Christ.
I can read. Normally, I can read all written language. Moss just, like, pulls his knees to his chest as he sits there for a moment.
Is it just that the orb is having an issue, or?
I don't think it's the orb anymore.
So you lost your magic?
I don't know. Hey,
Alright,
I'm
well-
gonna try and talk to my mom. And Moss stands up and starts walking away from camp.
As Moss disappears into a valley, who's taking second watch?
I can.
Aqua and Soren.
Moss is gone.
Don't get too excited, Aqua.
I'll pass on the information that Moss doesn't seem to have magic anymore and that he's going to talk to his mommy.
Oh.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm
Mom,
scared.
can you pick me up?
Okay. I mean, he was kind of our, like, this place guide, but alright.
I'm assuming he'll come
Should
back.
we go find him, or?
I
If he
think
doesn't come
he'll
back
be
by the
fine.
morn, then we can go look for him. But until then, we don't
Just
want to
wait
go
for him.
wandering into the darkness without him.
Into the darkness we go? Okay, makes sense. We will wait.
Go ahead, and one of you with advantage, or both of you can make perception checks.
I'll give
Mine's
you,
a plus. I was gonna say mine's a +6.
mine's a +5, so I'll give you advantage.
I was gonna say you gave me advantage for guidance for last time, so
Okay.
you
Well,
have it.
15. I'm gonna guidance myself. 18.
18.
Ooh.
You keep an eye specifically in the direction that Moss traveled. Just hopefully that's where he comes back. You hear.
Back to the opposite way.
You hear in the far enough distance that they're not likely to see you, because I imagine at this point, if you did have a fire, it would mostly be embers. But you'd probably shush up you and Aqua anyways. In the distance, about 150, 200 feet away, you see a monstrous cart with wheels 4 or 5 feet in diameter, a massive house of sorts on top. It is being pulled by 2 horses. The tips of their hooves and hair is kind of blackening, and they both have a pair of wings that are strapped down to their back to prevent them from flying away. And it is creaking loud enough that even this far away you can hear it traveling kind of parallel to where you guys are, so it'll go through your horizon. It won't cut into where you guys are.
It's a good distance away. No,
Yeah,
will
about
it-
150, 200 feet, yeah.
Like, will it stay that good distance away?
Yes, it's traveling kind of parallel to where you
Parallel
guys
to
are, so
us.
it won't come towards you. It is heading towards the south, towards the Epoch Valley.
And which direction are we headed? Just a clarification. in my head.
Northwards. Although
Okay, so it's like-
northeast,
so
west,
it-
south doesn't really mean anything in the Feywild, but you were heading away from the Epoch Valley.
Okay, and they're heading towards it.
Yes.
Okay. I think Soren just watches it go in the darkness, not really saying much. Kind of half zoned out, but like focused on just like one thing, and he's just focusing on that cart. But he's listening to around them, but his eyes are focused on the cart as he just more in his head than anything.
Absolutely. Aqua, anything that you're doing to harass Soren for your watch or anything in particular?
I didn't do that. No, Soren. Soren. Soren.
What do you? I hear you.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear anything. Are you okay?
I don't know.
You've had a rough couple of days.
Yeah, it's been rough. You lose your brother, and then you find out you are not entirely sure who you are. Even your soul doesn't know.
But everyone's soul doesn't know who they really are on the inside.
I think your soul has some semblance of an idea of who you are. Otherwise, I
Well,
don't know how souls work, but if
I don't either.
deep down you don't even know who you are, then how sure are you that you can trust anyone in this life? You can't even trust yourself.
Well, Soren, that's really deep. But like, we didn't, but how did you feel before all that? How did
I felt sure I knew what I had to do.
Yeah? Don't you still want to do it?
Yeah.
Well, then
But
to me, you're still the same Soren.
I just
We're
feel-
always discovering who we're trying to be, right?
Yes, but I don't know if it is mine own will or someone else's pulling the strings. And yes, this is not even deities. It's more of someone I don't know who's pulling the strings. Me committing myself to my deity is one thing, because that is my choice to commit to my deity. But what if someone else is pulling the strings, committing myself to my deity for me and doing all these things for me because I am programmed to be that way? How do I know if every choice I make is mine own? Do you understand where I'm getting at?
Yeah, that does make sense. But we can always experiment it. The science lady does a lot of those. We could probably figure out what we could... If we could figure out an experiment to figure out if you do your own strings.
I think that is beyond her.
Maybe, but what if she knows someone?
Maybe our mentor might know someone. That opens
That is true.
But
Yeah.
before I ask her that, I'd rather get her her reassurance that she will help us help Kuno. Help us help Kuno. Before I ask
Now-
for another favor.
Let me ask this then. Do you think whoever's pulling your strings would care for Kuno?
Don't know.
Well, that's where I think this is this real Soren. You can deep sigh all you want. I'm talking to the real Soren. The Soren that rolls his eyes whenever he talks to me. The one who also encourages me to do dumb stuff because he wants to see me in pain. That's the Soren I know.
I don't really want to see you in pain. I'm just more amused at what would happen when you do something.
Yeah, it normally ends in pain, so like... It's like when a kid falls and all of a sudden you just hear an abrupt scream and it just cuts out like that. I giggle. It's funny.
I suppose it is.
Oh my god.
Right? I do miss Kuno though.
Yeah, me too. Him and his I don't know, over preparing or just having random things when you need them, like a pot or a tent or something else that he would pull out because he thought it would be useful. His manacles.
Yeah. And his musical talent and his kindness and his cooking. Although Niall's cooking's really good too.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll find him?
I won't rest until we do. I mean, we know. We know where he went.
Well, yeah, he's stuck.
But hopefully, when we find, is Torin, right?
Torwin.
Torwin.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when we find Torwin, she knows how to go about this portal business. Because being an expert and knowing and doing are two different things.
Yeah.
As this conversation continues into the morning, the moon's already been gone for a few hours, but it is still nighttime. The sun has not started to rise yet. Aqua.
Yes.
Where is the egg?
Is it my egg?
Where is it?
Imagine you just have it out and you're just holding it in your arms.
Oh.
Yeah, cause well, I'm also holding my druid staff, right? So, I'm picturing it's like.
My headcanon
Like,
is you took some inspiration from Moss's orb and have like a sling that is on your hip that is
Yeah, because I
built.
made it the scarf. So.
Yeah. You're kind of just, subconsciously just kind of rubbing it, just kind of keeping it close to your body. And it's been warm for a few days. You feel a movement in the egg, a powerful kick or move or the egg or the fetus or whatever inside of it kind of rotating. And the egg appears to be ever so slightly larger.
Did I just kind of go like, oh, fall to the side slightly because it got heavier?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm off balance. What happened?
Still warm.
Oh,
That crack hasn't spread. You keep checking it like a healing wound.
Sword.
Yeah. I'm right in here. I'm right next to you.
My egg! It went like it like kicked me in the side like a brother kicks a brother. What?
You know that.
I'm people watching. It's fine.
Just one instance of two people who kind
Of like a
look alike, just
toddler
kick each other.
drop kicking his older brother. Yeah, 100%.
It must be brothers.
Yeah, must be brothers.
Also, I think it got bigger.
It did. Yeah, I did. Did it?
It looks a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
I think Soren will place a hand on it. Oh, the crack. Oh, wait, is it? You know, I could have done this the whole fucking time. Can I cast mending on the crack?
What?
You cast mending over where the crack is on the egg, and it
Well, it
has
was
no
an
effect.
accidental crack, like a crack, like you were worried that it's gonna kill it.
No, it's just it's slowly hatching.
Dropped it.
I didn't drop it.
There's a crack.
The crack does not react to the spell.
Well, there's a crack in our butts, and we didn't break those.
Aqua has read some wild medical textbooks in her time.
What to do?
And has no idea how anatomy of anything works at all. And I'm so here for it.
Where did you read that?
I don't know. I was in the no section from my lord's library, so.
Are you reading a fucking porno?
It's got some weird fetishes. I'll put it that way.
Oh my god. As you two continue this very interesting conversation, we'll fade to black on that nonsense. Moss, you head out probably a few hundred feet.
Yeah.
And try to commune with your mother.
Yeah, I sit in the moonlight. And
Make a religion check.
Oh, fuck. Here we go, boys. That is a 24 with a natural 19! Mackenzie comes in for the win!
What do you say in your head or out loud to try catch the attention of your mother? Who is the closest she's been to you in a very long time?
Mom, I put them in the orb, and now the orb is gone, and my magic is gone, and I don't know what to do. And I really hope that if this is some sort of punishment that you'll tell me, and that this isn't something that I don't understand.
You wait. And in order to pass the time, and I'm sure in your head you keep reciting that initial commune, you watch the moon faster than any celestial body in the sky move across the sky. It moves quite fast.
Faster than normal?
What you're used to, but faster than the material plane.
Okay.
Your concentration is broken by the creaking of wood and wheels as a cart begins to roll with how far you've gone behind you, in between you and where your companions are.
Headed towards the epoch.
Yes.
Do I recognize it?
From where you are much closer than your party members. It is a white painted wooden house on massive spoked wheels, pulled by two undead Pegasus, which you know are celestial creatures. These are not from the Feywild. This is an envoy or emissary from one of the celestial planes. Likely, due to the undead nature of the Pegasus, this is an Erosian envoy on behalf of the god of death.
Can Moss walk towards it?
Sure. You get within 60 feet of it and begin to hear music. Almost like courtly music, ambient music that would play during a court attendance.
Okay. Must
And
get closer. If you can.
it is moving quite fast.
Is there there's nobody on the outside?
There is nobody manning or reining the horses or the Pegasus.
Is there a door?
There is a door on the your side of the house cart.
Okay. Moss is gonna try and catch up to the door if he can.
Okay. You can. You're struggling to keep pace because it is moving quite fast, but at least at the moment you're able to keep pace. You tell me what you're doing. Oh, God.
I'm knocking on the door. There's an emissary from the god of death heading right into my mom's house. It's not just a little worrying.
In the dead of winter.
In the dead of winter.
The house cart comes to a stop. What is your wisdom score?
My wisdom score is 18.
18. Okay.
I'm all
The
brains.
music stops, fades out, and the carriage opens. You see, 1 second, because I want to make sure I describe this properly. Sorry. You see a beautiful stone-skinned colored massive creature on the inside, and even your perception is kind of warped. The inside of this already massive house cart is larger than the outside. This is some sort of trick or planar ability to affect the inside of this cart. Make a Arcana check or religion check with disadvantage.
I'm gonna have to make that a religion check. Well, that's a natural 20 versus a 14.
14. It takes a second because there is no reason why this would be here. And before I reveal this, to put it into context, you have been the leading negotiator in PAX with various lords of the Nine Hells. They travel through the Feywild and other various planes with some level of protection, because they are unable of using Fey portals in the material plane, so they are granted such passage as long as they come with peace. It is complicated, but there are some things
Were we on better
need.
terms with them, though, than, like, Kaela's group?
You have had next to no interaction with the children.
Yeah, they're kind of assholes.
They don't interact. They are above diplomacy. This is a Empyrean. This is a massive stone-like Titan creature, dressed in the.
Lindsay tried to turn into one.
Yes, he did. In the garb of a god of death priest. And you said your wisdom is 18?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This creature looks at you, and the hammer that is on the side immediately alights with black flame with your proximity.
Mm-hmm.
Begone, foul creature. You have no business stopping our cart. Who be you?
I am Moss Moongrove, second son of the Lady of Nights, and I merely meant to ask you what your business might be heading into the epoch.
Are you our emissary into the ascendancy?
I am an emissary of the ascendancy.
And are you headed inward as well?
I might be. I have concerns, but alas, I must relent. I was mostly curious as I have not been home in a while, and we do not frequently have conversations with the children.
Well, in the most recent years, we have been summoned. Your standing godhood in the Feywild has grown an interest in the eyes of our creators, and we have been tasked with establishing a connection to the Ascendancy. As a member of that household, I imagine you are somewhat involved with that process.
Yes. As a member of the household, I would be involved with such a process.
Make a deception check.
I mean, he's not even, like, really trying to deceive them. He said, you would think I would be involved.
That's true. You did word it weirdly enough that it could still play off.
But for the deception, that is I'm not proficient. Where's deception? There it is. Oh, no, I am proficient because I leveled up. That's actually really good. That's a 25.
Doesn't beat a 30.
Fuck.
Holy fucking...
I rolled a natural 17. It's an Empyrean. It's got a plus 13 insight.
I'm not, you know. I wasn't
so again, you
them.
didn't blatantly lie, but you're just like, oh, it would totally make sense for me to know about this. He's just like, you are speaking vague enough to not be directly lying, and this entity is picking up on it.
But as I have not been home in a few years, I am surprisingly not privy to such relations. However, I am eventually headed into the epoch myself.
Then I am sure we will see you there, sir. But if you are not our emissary, we must be continuing our journey.
I apologize for interrupting. Carry on safely, my friends.
May Eros watch over your afterlife. And the door shuts,
as well.
And he leaves.
Doesn't let you finish.
Yeah, Moss just, like, looks up at the moon. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You guys probably hear this. It's like, okay, good. Moss is still alive.
Yeah.
You just hear more cursing than I've ever heard from Moss in his entire 349 years of life.
You guys eventually watch Moss join back in the group, unable to connect with his mummy, and complete a long rest.
1.
I'll get a counter going for next session. Long rest in the Feywild, yeah. Okay.
Long rest taken, 1.
Awesome. The sun has not risen, but you guys all eventually wake up and determined to complete your journey.
Do we do Fey Plague here?
At this moment, you do not.
Ooh. That being said, has anything changed by morning? Moss would have just stared at the orb for the rest of the night.
Nothing.
Yikes.
Everyone wakes up, Moss is just staring at it.
Niall, you're not affected, are you? Like, do you feel okay?
Yes, I do. I don't know if that's because it just isn't affecting me today or if something's actually different, though.
CR 23, by the way, Empyreans.
Look, we're friends. We're on equal level. Dap me up.
To be fair, if you had been an asshole, he would have just like poked you with a plane shift and just yeeted you somewhere.
Right, yeah. Which he would have been surprised that I probably wouldn't have like moved very far. Imagine he just plane shifts me and I just like move 10 feet to the left.
Well, plane shift doesn't.
He gets to specify. It's not banishment.
Right,
yeah.
It's not banishment. Fuck.
Send you to fucking meet Eros a little bit too soon.
Send you to fucking the 9 hells.
Yeah.
Well, then I'd be like, Eros, can you send me back? This is incredibly rude.
Yeah.
Send a few people back while you're at it.
Yeah.
I mean, Eros is an asshole too, so like.
I mean, did we meet Eros?
I did.
You did, right. I don't know, I'm biased because I played a cleric of Eros at one point.
All right.
Udahag.
You guys continue your journey. I will say. Go ahead.
Moss, is having major doubts about this trip now that he has no magic. And
Yeah, the magic of friendship.
I don't know. I feel like I need to go into the epoch and figure out what's wrong with me. Because I can't help anybody.
Well, can't you help us with your knowledge of this plane?
Yes, but that doesn't mean much if I can't do anything.
Hovard is going into the epoch. What's that take?
How far is the Moongrove?
Moongrove? It's at least quite a while in the opposite direction of where you've been traveling.
Oh god.
And even being a Moongrove, that the intention required to enter the Epoch Valley it's not easy.
No, it's... Oh. But I can't do anything. I've come here and I'm useless. And I've ruined my orb. And I have no magic.
Oh.
Does that mean your
That means you can sleep.
Yeah, that's what I was getting allude to.
I don't
sorry.
know.
I didn't mean to steal
That's
your
okay.
thunder.
We
I
might not
don't
want
know.
to test that theory, especially if Boss doesn't have control.
I couldn't even talk to my mom. Usually that's not very hard, especially when I'm in the place that she controls.
Well,
So either someone else has cut me off, or she's cut me off.
Did she, when you talked to her the other day?
No,
Did
it
she
seemed
see-
like she would, in fact, like the opposite sort of thing.
Mm.
Which is why I'm confused, because there shouldn't be anyone else that can do this.
There's 3 members of the Ascendancy, correct?
Yes, the Lady of Days, the Lady of Nights, and the Lady of Stars.
So are they not one at war with the other, and maybe she's been dethroned?
No, they're all friends. They're like my aunts.
You're confident in that?
Yes, at least 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Are one of them
Okay.
close?
I mean, I didn't see the Lady of Stars very often. She's not one for much conversation. But the Lady of Days is very involved.
I assume she would have to be. You said the ascendancy is partially why is there as like a cycle for day and night?
Yes.
Yeah.
what is Lady of Days or Stars in the direction we're going?
Do I know that?
No. You do not know where the Lady of Stars
she's
calls
anybody-
home. The Lady of Night, rumor is that she, the Lady of Days, sorry. The rumor is that she, is within the Nelithan court,
that makes sense.
but purposefully does not operate as a god. Like she keeps a low profile and mainly whispers to the trees and the wildlife in order to do her bidding.
A lot of what the Ascendancy does is just make sure the wheels don't fall off the wagon. We don't try to, at least in my experience, despite my work, we haven't always tried to control anything that's going on, more so just make sure that it's not falling apart.
Oh. Should we... Do you want to... Should we go visit your mom then? Would you feel more comfortable that way?
I mean, yes, but I'm not sure if it's a matter of comfort or we have the time and a million other things. And I can't very well leave the rest of you all here alone. Damn it, Dtmahanen!
Assuming we would go with you to the park.
I wouldn't ask you to do that, but...
Well, we're offering.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
Plus, again, I feel like in order to find the professor, we need a Feywild expert, so...
If you aren't.
And if the expert needs to go get his boo-boo fixed, then we gotta go get it fixed by your mom.
Something like that.
Gotta go with the boop.
That is a very redundant, very simple way of putting it.
Nico, I don't want to leave the professor alone and stranded wherever they might be. I genuinely just don't have the confidence in the safety of anything anymore.
Absolutely. You know what safety is paramount beyond the safety of the professors? Mine. Well, ours. So you without magic concerns me. If we need to do, we need to do.
I imagine you're having this conversation while walking, and you haven't made the decision to change direction, or are you still at the camp, do you think?
Moss, I don't think would have started walking. This would have definitely been something he probably brought up the second he snapped back into reality.
Okay.
Rolling up our little bedrolls.
I was gonna say we were probably all packing up, ready to head to the direction, but then Moss is like, "Hold up, wait a minute, we gotta go that way."
It would be longer if we kept going this way anyway, and it would take longer and more chance of something to happen even after we save said professor.
What if we go to your mom and then she can poof us to an area that the professor's at?
I mean, that's entirely plausible. It would be within her the realm of her abilities. I have concerns because we've never spoken to the children of Kaela, and yet last night I just spoke to the emissaries of the god of death, walking right into my home.
Maybe.
Oh.
Which god?
Huh?
Baros.
Like that? Not the deity himself. No, like an...
No, his
Emissary.
emissaries.
Oh.
I wonder if
Interesting.
I could see from Katara if she knows anything about it.
I mean, my
I don't
mother
know.
is no friend of Kaela's. She's made that much clear to me. And I'm afraid that the children might make a move against her at this rate.
Okay, well, let's go help your mom.
Kaela or your mother?
Kaela. She killed like 70% of the bloody world on a whim. I'm not entirely unconvinced she wouldn't be opposed to wiping out a few archfey.
Nico, as you are probably like thinking about how close you were to an emissary of the god of war, you hear a branch drop from a tree not too far behind you.
The trees were never safe.
Yeah, what a spin.
Joke's on you.
You look up and see a crossbow bolt buried in the point where the branch would grab onto the trunk that severed it. And in the distance, you see what looked to be a dozen or so centaurs.
Damn it.
Oh my god. We're under attack. We're under fire.
How far away are they?
What?
Nico's the only one who sees them so far, unless Nico yells out, "We're under attack."
Absolutely.
Okay. You guys turn to look and see they are maybe about 90 feet away.
Can I wave to them?
You're still in thick brush, so you can kind of see them through. You can wave, but you don't know if they're exactly seeing you. They are prowling in your direction. They are not running at you. They are moving at a slow pace. All of them with various weapons ready.
Okay.
They don't look exactly hostile, but this is their land. They're defensive.
Yeah. Wait. Maybe I should have a quick chat with them. Yeah.
Can I come?
Sure.
Yeah. Right. And Moss will walk out of the brush with his hands.
He's like stepping over like loose brush. It's like, it's all right. It's all right.
I think Soren follows suit just to like show that the rest of the party is like not up to something, like using Moss as a distraction, because I feel like that's what they would also think of. But that's what Soren's thinking of, assuming that they think of the same.
Well, I am super excited to see centaurs, so either I'm putting my... Nope. I am going to...
But they definitely shot at us, right?
Yeah.
They shot up.
Like a warning shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think like I'll kind of crawl through
many
the
are
bushes
there?
at first and then pop out
You
from
see
the
at
bush.
least a dozen.
Yeah.
Maybe not. No, wait, maybe not.
Okay.
That might be startling.
Yeah, that might be started.
A dozen. I'm good.
You guys move
I
forward.
follow behind Moss.
They all look to be of a warrior class. They're all quite bulky, quite big. Many of them holding spears that are about 12 feet long. These are powerful entities. One of them steps forward, one of them holding a crossbow.
My friends, hi. I take it, it's not every day you get to shoot at a member of the Ascendancy, but today's your lucky day. You've got my attention.
Do you know whose lands you're in?
Yes, yours. We were merely passing through because we had just returned to the Feywild. At least myself, I've just returned to the Feywild.
This area belongs to the clans of Ephesarion. You step on our lands without our permission, you will answer the call.
I will.
This one is speaking in common.
Oh.
They seem to have identified you as foreigners.
As a member of the Ascendancy, I respect your claim to the land, and I will happily meet any demands you make. I just want peace. We were just passing through, and make no mistake, we want nothing less than to harm you, to harm you.
Oh.
He said it right. Nothing less than for you to be harmed or your land to be harmed.
Give me a persuasion check. I'm tempted to give you disadvantage.
Because I stumbled over my words. I rolled a 17 plus 9.
You see, not the man who's speaking to you. His crossbow is still raised at you, but some of the other guardsmen behind seem to relax their shoulders a bit. The Ascendancy, you say?
Yes, we were actually headed Well, we were previously headed in another direction, but now we're headed towards the epoch.
A member of the Ascendancy lost. That doesn't strike me as common.
But it's uncommon.
Well, it would be because this is a rather uncommon circumstance I seem to have found myself in.
Yes. Yes, it is. We were told that your people would stay out. Now that the War Council has been called.
Huh?
I sincerely apologize. As I previously had stated, myself, I have not been on the material in a decent amount of time, or on the Feywild in a decent amount of time, and only returned on your territory. I had no intentions of, breaking any pacts or treaties, especially none in the beginning of the winter months. I hope you can forgive me and allow me the humble kindness of passing through or making amends.
Address your companions. Who are they? Why are they here?
I say, is it just you, Moss? I thought it was all of us.
It's all of it. Moss was just very trying to ooh, look at me. Don't look at them. My friends are travelers from the material. The small one here is looking for their teacher. I offered to help them in return for travel passage back to the Feywild.
And the
you
others?
Wouldn't happen to have seen them. The others are friends of mine that I met along the material plane.
Hi.
In hopes of finding this one's teacher, we hope to find that one's brother. There's a lot of lost people around.
That is very true.
Oh.
Now, you must answer for your trespass. You seem familiar with the courts. You will follow us to the king.
Ooh.
Quite right.
Or just size.
Another courtroom.
Are my companions... Will they have to come with me as well, or can they remain under observation?
I suggest they follow. These lands are no longer safe for travelers.
Right. Perhaps you might impart a little wisdom into me, as I have... even in my long years, I've not been privy to the winter courts. What are the status of things these days?
Well, when winter started, everyone was worried. There was much panic, as it has been more than 500 years since snow fell in the Feywild. Or close to, by some regard. It is interesting that the Ascendancy finds itself unaware of the circumstances that they have created. We find ourselves under threat from both the children and something else. Something unknown. Right now, I believe the War Council is deciding if a temporary alliance with the children is worth the levy they would have us pay.
In what levy are the children requesting?
That is not something I am at liberty to say. The king might be willing to impart such information, but I expect you will find your answers in the epoch.
Quite. I appreciate your kindness. I find myself quite lost.
Moss.
Mm-hmm.
You are just around that 350-year-old mark since your creation.
Almost my birthday.
It
whenever
is
that
almost
is.
your birthday.
Oh gosh. Oh god, no, not the holiday.
And it wasn't that many years between your creation and the Ascendancy taking power.
No, not at all. It kind of all happened around the same time.
It was very simultaneous. A matter of months. Your older brother was around for a while before you were.
Yeah, kind of like we were created, to fill the gaps.
To fill the gaps. And you know, based on what you have been told by your mother, a living God, that the years before Mother's Mercy, or the moments, the months even, was when the last snowfall was. Which would put that at 355 years ago, tops. And this centaur just said half a millennia.
Out of curiosity, what year is it in the Feywild?
I would have to consult the scribes. We do not keep track of such things, as our years and months and dates are not material enough to belong here. But it has been quite some time since the winter started.
I just, based off of what you've just said, I might have been gone longer than I realize.
When did you leave?
In material time? How long?
You maybe a few months, but the last moment you remembered would be the start of snowfall, in terms of the Feywild.
When I left, as I left, I witnessed the first few snowflakes.
That was quite some time ago. We're coming up on close to 100 years ago. Things have changed greatly in the Feywild, sir.
I've been gone for too long.
My last piece of advice before we travel. You may have gotten lucky in the plains of Merciless Amber. I wouldn't go waving around your heritage as much as you claim to.
Duly noted.
The Fey Ascendancy remains at the top of the hill. But they are not the only entities that strive for power, as you very well know the nature of the Feywild. But others are getting closer and closer every passing winter year.
Do we have reason to be afraid of said individuals? Not meaning the Ascendancy, but us, the people of the Feywild.
Well, that depends on what you wish to accomplish. The Ascendancy looks posed to sign this accord with the children. There is a growing opposition to such an accord.
I feel it might be quite pertinent that I speak to your king about the details of this accord if I am to be able to help stop it if necessary.
Very well. For the sake of expediency, we will allow your party to ride with us.
We're riding centaurs.
We must make quick haste if we wish to get there before the next snowfall.
Of course. Then I'll gesture towards the party. Let's go.
You guys all come out of the woodwork, so to speak. Some of you were already exposed as a pack of what now have emerged from the shadows around you. Close to 30 centaurs.
Ooh.
Boss is like sweating bullets.
Yeah, a century is a lot longer than what you thought.
Does that mean that time is becoming different here, Moss?
I don't know. That was the only time I ever left the Feywild. By the way my mom put it, was the first time I was allowed to leave the Feywild.
Does that mean?
I'm starting to wonder if maybe she didn't want me to come back for a reason.
How long have you been on the material plane?
Only months.
How many?
Maybe
3, maybe.
3.
So if
4.
this professor has been gone 4 months, what does that mean about her well-being? If it is 100 years since you've left.
Well, unfortunately the Feywild isn't consistent.
Yes, but it's still a concern.
Yes,
Definitely.
it was a concern before as well, though.
I know it was a concern as well, but now it seems much more urgent.
Yeah, I might be siding you with Sword on this one.
You still have to press over.
Get aboard the centaurs.
Can I ask what's the name of the centaur I'm on?
The name.
I'm writing sides at him. Just kidding.
The name of the centaur that you are on is Chorus. Kores.
Kores.
As you absolutely annoy the shit out of the centaur for the next journey, talking and asking questions and
Literally asking questions, going, "What's it like? What do you eat? What do you hunt? What do you do? How do you sleep?"
I'm just kidding. I don't have it equipped. I could, but I don't.
As you guys begin traveling in the same direction, you guys are moving towards where the professor was, away from the epoch, towards the king of the
Oh shit, maybe she got captured by the fucking...
Now I'm wondering how long it's been since I actually spoke to my mom, like from the material when I was on the material to now.
Like from literally last night.
Yeah, literally
or the night before.
the night before to now.
Yeah. And again, it is very inconsistent.
Yeah.
And it goes in both directions too.
Mm-hmm.
Mac, like think of the Forget Me House.
Yeah, basically. Only time is way more pressing now, I feel like.
You guys ride, if there were directions that mattered, kind of in a northwestern direction, with intention and speed now. At a action and bonus action dash, these creatures are moving at about 300 feet per 6 seconds.
Damn.
Because they have equipment that allows them to move quite fast. These creatures are powering across the land. I think in this moment, Moss, in the last 24 hours, you've been hit with a lot. Even from the court and the laughable behavior of the Lotharian champion, all the way to
what was supposed to be the sane place for him.
Yeah. You've missed 25% of your existence, basically, in the Feywild.
Yup.
You have no magic.
Yup.
You are unable to metaphysically contact your family.
Yup.
What is Moss thinking about as you travel towards a king that you need to convince that you're of no threat, and then turn around and say, I'm a member of the Ascendancy, what the fuck is going on? What are you thinking?
Moss has never felt such uncertainty in his life before. Even when he lived by himself, isolated in the woods, he still knew that things were running as they always were in the background. But now he feels like he's just kind of drifting along, trying to grab onto something, anything to hold on to of any sort of familiarity. And at the moment, that familiarity is his work. And he's already just switched off and trying to just focus very hard on figuring out what the fuck is going on, because he is afraid of what not doing that means for him. What not knowing means for him. And he's trying to fill that uncertainty.
Gotcha. Nico, your first real day of adventuring in a foreign plane with strangers, and you have seen a family of house cats lost trying to travel home, which was like, oh, that's cute. The Feywild's cute. To seeing or hearing about a emissary carriage of a celestial being that lives in the same realm as your partner. To the excitement of your device working. You may have left this out to the party, but this was your project. Your teacher had given up on the idea of a portable version, but you were determined that when you eventually went with her, you would show her how well this could work, and boy, were you right. What's going through your mind as you are riding on the back of a centaur moving 34 miles per hour?
I am clutching Mork tightly to me, absolutely terrified. Very
Actually,
much
it's
feeling
200
in
miles per hour.
over my head.
300 feet per second per 6 seconds. 300 feet per every FPS, 300 feet per 6 seconds.
I did the math.
is up.
It's
I don't know how math
it's
works.
50 feet per second, 2 miles per hour is about 34 miles per hour. Which is still very fast for a fucking centaur to be yeeting across a grassy plain. Yeah.
I didn't realize what I did. I forgot to divide.
All good. Yeah. The most familiar with the Feywild, and potentially the second most familiar, just with all the book knowledge that you have.
Mm-hmm.
For very different reasons, are feeling very much the same right now. And as you continue moving towards another unknown destination in a foreign land, you are concentrating on why you're here. And likely, knowing Nico, trying to commit to memory the tracks that you are leaving so you can get back to the rat engine and not get lost.
Absolutely. Everything is written down, inscribed. I fall asleep every night. I'm going to fall asleep writing everything down to try and keep this topsy-turvy world straight.
Moss would probably notice it at some point and just not say anything, because it won't work, but it's a comfort.
I'm gonna try.
Let her have her hope.
Yeah, let her have some sense of comfort. He just feels bad because it won't work.
Mm-hmm. I'm most gravely concerned as well that Moss has lost his magic, because he seemed the most powerful. So I'm just not panicking yet, but getting close.
Just lost maybe demigod status.
Nice shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to find a new source for your power.
Yeah.
Can't rely on
Something to
anyone, can't
believe
rely on
in.
anyone for shit.
I mean, I hope Smiley's okay. Honestly.
Oh,
Like,
Wonder if he
Smiley's my
lost his magic.
responsibility.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm worried about. Is did my warlock lose his magic? Smiley somewhere in a dungeon. Eldritch blast. Eldritch blast.
No, it's worse than that. You sent the Dream Reaper to him. Here, take this, and then his magic disappeared. Maybe.
Wait.
You don't
What
know.
do you mean I sent the
You don't know.
Yeah,
you
you
don't
sent
know.
it to
You don't
Smiley.
know. Anyways, as you two are having very similar thoughts with different calibers of intensity, that is where we will end tonight's session. The first night, 24 hours period, question mark, long rest, question mark, in the Feywild, in the books, in a very beautiful land, but nonetheless very odd and very different. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, you guys, for your wackiness and your willingness to jump headfirst in the Feywild. Everyone give creepy stares at the camera. I'm here for it, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Hidden in a shrouded forest, somewhere over yonder in the realm of Mardan, is a professor studiously taking notes from an expert Eladrin researcher who has taken her on in her elder years as apprentice. And in the same notebook that she is learning the secrets of transplanar technology and what the Feywild is able to accomplish is a note to a young half-gnome somewhere very far away. Whatever you do, don't follow me. It isn't safe here. I want to be here, but it's not safe. It's too late. This is your task now.